Hey yo, we about to spoil the beans. Bunch of movies you never seen. From Titanic, Gone Girl, Infinity War, and Creed. Got the homie Deric Coastin' finna tell you where he's seen. From the beginning and everything in between. Man, we finna spoil the beans, dog. With Sam and the son, got the whole team, dog. We get it poppin' from Memphis to AZ, dog. Welcome to the audio version of AMC, dog. We gon' spoil the beans, y'all.
Why's your collar pop?
I look good with a pop collar. It's part of my look.
It's part of your look now?
Yeah. I'm
like
coming
your
into my full-on mom phase.
You're not a mommy yet.
Not yet.
Unless you listen to Christina P's podcast, then I guess you're a mommy.
I am a mommy. I do listen to her podcast. Well, I listen to the clips. I really like clips of podcasts. That's just what podcasts should be.
Yeah, all podcasts should be like
around
30 seconds to about 2 minutes. I feel like every podcast, and we're gonna try to get this podcast to around that.
We're trying to do that.
That's our goal, is to get it to about a solid 30-second to 2-minute clip, the whole episode,
the whole entire thing, a whole movie in 30 seconds. Great.
That'd be pretty.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be hard to do.
I feel like they've done that before.
No, they could. And
I've seen like condensed.
It would change the whole podcast. I get that. We probably get a lot of new listeners, and then some listeners would be like, "Wow, this is not what it was."
Well, also, I mean, I feel like you lose a lot of the people who are here for the ride.
Yeah, they hear. Bro, it's an hour or two of your day at work, and you get to hear a movie you haven't thought about in a long time. Like, I get the listener.
It's a vibe. I get it. Yeah,
I totally get the listener.
We're chilling,
and I appreciate y'all.
We love you.
I do. And bro, if you want to see your boy do some stand up, I do stand up, and I'm pretty decent at it. So come see me. I'm in Vegas this weekend with the great Akash Singh. I'm in Vegas. But if you want to see Sam and Hassan, they'll be doing the Solid Show without me, January 20th.
That's this Friday.
This Friday, 7:30 at Vulcan. So come out to that.
It'll be solid.
Yep. And if you can't come out to that one, come out to the next Solid Show, which is February 4th. And if you can't come out to that one, come out to the next one, which is February 18th. So we got a bunch of, and then we have another one in March. Just go to the Vulcan website or the Big Laugh website, and you'll see we have a bunch of Solid shows coming up. And get your fucking tickets, man.
And you're going to San Antonio.
Yeah. And also, I was about to say that. And then San Antonio Bean Mafia, anyone in that San Antonio area, anyone in the Austin area that can't come to any of the Solid dates, but you want to come see me headline, I'm headlining San Antonio LOL, January 29th. Hopefully the Cowboys lose, or that might be a problem, because then they'll be playing that day. But
yeah, that would be a bummer.
That would suck. That would be, I get a lot.
Fuck those guys. Come see us.
Come see us. That's why, I mean, if they make the playoffs, that's going to be annoying, because like, fuck, everyone's a Cowboys fan in fucking San Antonio.
Yeah.
But, guys, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to lose to the Niners. All right? They beat Tom Brady, but Tom Brady's fucking dead.
Wow.
He's dead.
I would never thought I'd see the day.
All right? So that's why he did that. Dak Prescott's still going to fucking choke it up to Brock Purdy the Turdy. I never thought I would be cheering for the Niners, but I kind of want them to win now just because of the situation.
Yeah, not because we respect them as a team or their fans.
Or their fans.
Ew, gross.
Ew, or gross. Or their city. Disgusting.
Yuck.
I had no respect for San Francisco in any capacity.
No way.
But I do kind of want them to win just so my show has better ticket sales. That is Sunday, January 29th at the San Antonio LOL. Come see me headline. Sam will be there. Hassan will be there. And it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a good show. That I can guarantee.
Oh, 100%.
So hopefully the Cowboys do not make the playoffs, so more of you show up.
Can Dak guarantee you 100% good show?
Probably not.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Thank you, Sam. That's a great fucking point. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And also, Bean Mafia, thank you guys also for supporting the Raw Room as much as you do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It has 100,000 subscribers now. It's one of the biggest sports podcasts in the world, and I saw that it's like the second, or I forgot, it was in like on the list in like some random country. I saw Darren post that. That made me so happy. It was like in Uruguay or some shit. You know what I mean? But that was so fire. Guys, Raw Room Podcast. If you like sports, one of my best friends in life, ex-veteran NFL 10-year career super stud Darren Bates. He has a great podcast now that he does out of Nashville called The Raw Room. And it's fucking doing numbers and it's blowing up, and I'm so proud of him. So go listen to that if you like sports, and it's a really good time. I got some episodes on there, so if you're a new Bean Mafia member and you want to see me on other podcasts, I've been on Raw Room a bunch, and Flagrant, and Dr. Drew, and Danny Brown. So Kill Tony. Go watch. I've done some shit.
This guy.
I've done some stuff. New year, new Sam. We'll be in a new studio for the Beans soon. And it'll look different. New moves, new things for the year. So we're excited. But we got to get it rocking. I know you're like, yo, where the fuck have the episodes been? We were out of town. We were celebrating getting engaged.
Yeah, we have a life.
We have a fucking life sometimes. All right.
I lost my voice.
Yeah. You guys still get over 50-something episodes a year. Everybody who there's still 12 paid for's left. You guys are gonna get knocked out this year. We're gonna do it. The reason it's like, oh man, why isn't mine done yet, bro? A, I gotta find the right guest, and B, I want your episodes to be in the studio, so you're like, oh man, mine's look nice. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be better. It'll sound better.
Yeah, it'll look better, sound better, just be cooler. And maybe the podcast will be bigger, and I'll have a bigger guest, and you'll be like, oh wow, I had to wait a year for my episode, but a year and a half from episode, but oh shit, it was with this comic, and it was all that. I didn't expect that. So that's what I want for you guys, because y'all are the truest fans. And I know I got y'all, and y'all aren't going anywhere, which is also kind of the hostage situation.
It is a hostage situation. You're here. You're queer.
You're here. You're queer. And you're here for this episode, which is, we're starting the year off with a bang. You thought I was coming back with just some movie?
I don't even know what this is, and I know it's a bang.
It's a bang. It's a bang. Hey,
I can feel the energy of a bang.
She knows when I'm about to bang, bro. She's been with me 7 years.
Scary.
The woman knows my bangings. The woman knows my bangings, and she's terrified, and I keep.
I know. I live in constant fear.
She knows I'm coming for her.
Yeah,
always. You know what's funny though? She always gets scared, but then she likes it. It's just like most things. Everybody's scared about something. It's like a roller coaster or jumping off a cliff. It's scary, and then you do it. You're like, oh my god, I can't. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's wild.
Let me kiss. I love you.
Every day is like jumping off a cliff.
That's good.
Yep.
It's only bad if you don't jump.
It's only bad if you don't jump off the cliff.
Samantha. But guys, today is not about cliff diving. Today is about a very awesome movie that is one of my favorite movies. Sam has heard about it, and we've had many a conversation about it, but she's never seen it. To me, this is an all-time classic. I genuinely love it. And I know some of the people are like, oh, wow, like this is the big movie to begin the year with. And it's like, maybe to you it's not. But the episode, if you're a true Bean Mafia member and you're a true Bean dog, you're a true Beaner, you know that like, oh no, you want the movies Deric has seen a million times and that he has an emotional connection to, because he tells those differently. Like I tell them all with the same amount of vigor, but if I know the movie without even looking at the fucking, like if I just know that, like some of these bitches I know, bro, I know them just damn near by heart. I just know them in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because like some movies move me like that. This movie is one of those movies. I saw this and I was like, this moved me. That was every time I watch it, every time I see it on TV, I have to stop. It's just a great movie. You ready, Sam?
I'm so ready.
How ready are you? On a scale of 1 to ready.
Ready.
You could have said 1. Thank God. All right, don't look at the screen. Don't cheat. This woman, bro, she be trying to cheat all the time. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting you guess. We're going right into it.
Oh, damn. I love guessing.
Nope.
I hate guessing.
Movie starts. Slow piano music.
I was going to guess there was probably some slow piano in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good, usually if it's a good, actual good movie, like classic film, there's a little slow piano.
Okay.
Slow piano. We see our lead, Matt motherfucking Damon.
Oh my God, I love Matt.
He's young Damie. He's getting dressed. It's late night. He sees his girl sleeping on the bed. He kisses her. All right.
Okay.
Then he goes around his apartment and he starts grabbing all this hidden cash.
Ooh.
Like, Sam, so much cash. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Thousands like in VHSs and books and like behind, like on the ceiling. Like it's hidden cash all around the house.
Yeah.
All right. He walks out of his place. He stops. And then you hear the voiceover. A lot of the movie's voiceover.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
You hear Matt Damon. He goes, listen, here's the thing. If you can't spot the sucker the first half hour at the table, chances are you are the sucker. You see him leave. Rounders. All right. Guys around here play for a living. It's like a job. You don't gamble. No. You grind it out. Your goal is to win one big bet an hour. Money, you put the money in when you have the bets, and you protect when you don't. That's how I paid my way through half of law school. I'm a true grinder. But finally, I learned this. If you're too careful, your whole life becomes a fucking grind. He comes up to this steel door. He knocks on it. It opens. You see motherfucking John Malkovich.
Cool.
All right? You see him answer. He's just eating cookies, bro. He's eating Oreos. He's just looking out the little sliding thing. You hear the voiceover. This is KGB's place. You won't find it in the yellow pages. You see Matt Damon walks in, and he goes, give me 3 stacks of high society. Everybody in the motherfucking club stops. Like, he drops all the cash down. 3 stacks of high society means $33,000. Like, or $30,000.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But that's what that code is. Like, it's cool. A lot of this movie is code, and they like, it's real. It's like real language. It's like really how they talk. You know what I'm saying? So he drops all his money. KGB turns real slow, and he hands him the 30 grand in chip, and he's like, count it. And Damon, you see him counting everything. He's super serious. And then he goes, so you're setting the apple. This is John Malkovich. Good. You want a cookie? Our boy looks at him. He doesn't say shit. He walks Matt Damon grabs his chips. He walks in the club. And you hear Matt Damon, the voiceover. He doesn't look like much, but that's KGB. He's connected all the way up to the top, the Russian mob. You don't fuck with him. But you looking for high stakes, real plan, this is the place. They all know me as a small timer. And you see him walk in the room, he looks around, but that's about to change.
Ooh.
He's like, you see him see somebody, and he goes like this. He takes his hat down, he has a hat on, and he covers his chips up, like hides them, right? You see him kind of get nervous. And then you see the dude who's in like a bunch of the Sandler movies, a great actor. He's in like The Big Lebowski. In Anger Management, he's like the crazy guy. In Transformers, he's in them bitches. Bro, this nigga is like such a great actor. He's been in everything. I gotta show you his face now.
Wait, what did you say he was in? The first thing?
Anger Management.
No, it was like one of the last things you said. What was the first thing you said?
Him. This guy.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's really good.
He's unbelievable. You know, he's like an actual like method act. Like he can really act.
He's in Monk.
He's in Monk. Dude,
he
bro,
plays
he's in
Monk's
everything.
brother.
Yeah, he is Monk's brother. I don't even watch Monk, but I know he's Monk's brother.
Yeah, he's very Monk's brother.
Yeah.
I can't believe you never really watched Monk like that. That was such a good show.
My mom loved it.
It's a good show.
Yeah, everyone says it. I've never didn't believe it wasn't a good show. I just never. I would watch not SNL. Law and Order SVU. I'd watch that when she would watch a cop show.
Yeah.
When Monk would be on, I wasn't interested.
Well, Monk is like Psych. It's like just before Psych.
Psych
Yeah.
either.
It's like, oh, let's make those cop shows kind of comedic.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that era.
They did that with a bunch of things. Okay, sorry. So Monk's brother.
Bro, he can really act though.
Yeah, that guy can act.
He actually because he's to be funny, as funny as he is in a lot of stuff, and then in this he's just a dead serious motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "That's Joey Knish, New York legend." You hear the voiceover. He's been around her since he was 19 years old. He's literally been making a living off poker since he was 19. You see, he's like 50 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he goes, he comes up, and you see Knish walk up, and he looks at our boy Matt Damon. He goes, "You holding those for somebody?" And he's like, Matt Damon's like, "Yeah, I'm holding them for you." And he laughs. He goes, "You should be. I hope you're not putting all that glamour in play." And then you see Matt Damon's eyes get big, and you hear the voiceover. He's as close to a friend that I have in this place. Like, you know, to realize the situation.
Yeah.
And you see our boy Knish starts trying to give Matt Damon advice. Like, yo, you don't have to do this. I know what you're feeling, but you don't have to do this. We can leave now. We can get a coffee. We can go to Queens. We can play this game. There's some small-time games here. We can just have a regular good night. And then our boy Matt Damon goes, "I know what I'm doing."
Whew.
And Knish is like, "You're making a run, huh? You going to Vegas?" And Matt Damon doesn't say anything. He goes, "I'm right." And then Matt Damon just goes, "I can beat the game." And then Knish goes, "Maybe." He goes, "Maybe. Maybe you can. But you know what you can do? I know you can beat the odds at Chesterfield's. I know we can go over to this game in like Northside and you'll win there. I know we can go here and you'll win. Like,
yeah.
Just so you know, like, I'm telling you, I know here is for real.
Yeah.
If we go to these other places, bro, it won't be that big of a deal."
Uh-huh.
And Damon looks all serious, just like staring at him. And Knish just goes, "Okay, I understand. Back to battle." And he like, "Hey,
Oof.
Go with God, bro." You hear the voiceover. So the game in question is No Limit Texas Hold'em. 25 grand buy-in. This kind of game doesn't come across often outside of casinos. Because the money attacks the flounders. And the flounders attract the sharks.
Whew.
So and then like you see him sit down and he literally explains how you play poker, right?
Okay.
Like he explains the game.
Well, I want to hear that part.
I don't know that part. Like, it's too
Deric,
much.
That's the part I need to know. I don't understand.
I don't know how to
play
babe,
poker.
I don't know either. I just know that's
how
what he
am I supposed
says.
to understand the rest of this movie? It's clearly a pivotal
I don't understand how
part.
to play poker, but it has nothing to do with it. It's my
doesn't?
favorite movie, and I don't know how to play poker.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite movies, and I don't know how to play poker. Clearly, it's not about that. Because you just felt what Kanish was saying, and that had nothing to do with poker.
I know,
it's about life.
I know. But I just thought that, like, when you said that, I got really excited. I was like,
he's gonna explain to me how to play
poker.
understand
how to play poker.
You can also just watch this movie on your own, and if you want to learn that specific
I guess
part.
I have to.
Or you can just learn how to play poker. I'm sure there's how-to videos.
So many people have tried to teach me how to play.
I know, me
it's
too.
So
it's hard, bro.
It doesn't make sense.
I like watching other people play poker.
Like, let's just play bridge.
Yeah, that's hard. That's
or
hard
spades.
But those are games I can learn fast.
They're all the same.
Yeah. Poker is like, nah, bro. It's like, I really got to learn this. It's like chess or something. So.
Yeah, it's his own thing.
It's his own game. So our boy says the key to the game is playing the man,
That's
not
what they
the
say.
card. All right? No other game, fortunes change hand to hand. A brilliant player, the best, can go on tilt and crack. This is why the World Series of Poker is on a no-limit table. Some pros, even the best, don't play no limit. They can't handle the swings.
Ooh.
Bruh, that shit. See, I'm just like, it's like I like learning about life through this shit.
I could never do this.
Because I get no limit means like, bruh, we can put, ain't no cap on this table. If I want to put $1 million down, I'm putting it down. That's what's like, because it's like, damn, it can swing, everything can swing.
Yeah.
So you see him playing KGB. KGB's at the table. There's other niggas at the table too, but they're across from each other. He starts listing all his favorite heroes, right? And he lists them and he says they all only play no limit. All his favorite card heroes. And he goes, because one of them once said, life is on the wire. The rest is just waiting. All right. Back to the game. You see our boy, he has an ace and a 9. He looks like he has an ace and a 9. And he kind of like, and he raises 500. Everybody else folds. KGB goes, that's a portion raise, I'll call it. He raises them back. You hear the voiceover. Here's the beauty of this game. I just got a top 2 pair on the flop. Against the average guy, I'd set a bear trap. I'd hardly bet, let him walk into it. But KGB, he's too smart. I got to overbite the pot, look like I'm trying to buy it, and then he'll play me back. I'll get paid. You see KGB grab one of the cookies, an Oreo, and he splits it. And he listens to it as he splits it. And then he eats it real slow. All right? Bro, John Malkovich, a bad boy, bro.
He's great.
KGB goes, call. You hear the voiceover. My guess, Teddy has a flush draw. That's KGB. He drops he drops another card. It's a heart. He goes, my money. You hear the voiceover. My money card. I got a full house. Now I hope a spade falls and Teddy makes his flush. You see the next card drops. It's a 3 of spades. You hear, now I got him beat. Right?
Wow. So this part is so hard to understand.
Yeah, but
how many cards are being played when you play? Is it just one deck, or is it
I don't know
multiple
the
decks?
rules.
Okay.
I genuinely don't know the rules. So any question you have about poker, I cannot answer you. Any question about what's going on in this movie, I can answer thoroughly. Does that make sense?
Okay, so at this moment,
be like this.
Matt Damon feels like he's in control of the situation.
You know how we watch a football game?
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about what's going on in the game, right? You don't know like the actual like what each play is and what each zone read is and all that. Yeah. But if I ask you like, hey, what happened? You'd be like, yo, he threw a touchdown pass.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's fair.
It's like just to put it in the example.
Fair.
It's like that. Like you can't explain. I can't break down the game to you, but I can tell you what's happening.
Okay.
So our boy KGB bets huge. Puts 15 grand in the middle. 15 grand.
That's a lot of money.
That's a fuck ton of money.
That's half of what Matt Damon.
Half of what all of Matt Damon shit.
Yes. Okay.
So Damon sits back and he takes his time. Everyone in the room now is like, oh shit, this is like
for real.
Shit just got real. It's real money on the table now. And he goes, you hear the voiceover. And Matt Damon goes, time out. Right? And everybody's looking at him. He's like this. And he goes, the voiceover. I want him to think I'm pondering a call. But all I'm really thinking about is Vegas and the Mirage. And you see Damon looks at his chips and he's like, all right. He goes, you're 15 plus I got 33 grand. You know what? I'm just going to go all in because you don't have the spades. Puts all of his $33,000 in.
Mm-hmm.
All of his money. All right? And it's quiet for a second, and KGB goes, you're right. I don't have the spades. And you see him slowly put the rest of his chips in one by one, and you see Damon's eyes get real big, like, and you hear the voiceover. I already know before the cards are turned over. You see our boy KGB holds up. He's got 2 aces.
Ooh.
Aces, fool, Mike. And he gets up. KGB just sets the cards down, doesn't look at him, just get up and walks off like with his cookies. And you see another big ass nigga come up and he just starts, it's because it's like 40-something, 50 grand on the table. Collects all, he just collects all the chips the KGB side and starts counting them for him.
Yo.
Man, everybody else saying this is how the movie starts. Everyone's looking at him like this. Like everyone's like either that or walked off or just like making a fake like oh fuck.
Yo.
And you see Matt Damon like this, Sam. He's like for real, he's about to have a heart attack, bro.
Yeah.
You just heard him say this is how he's been paying through law school. Like Sam, this is all his money.
Yeah. That's wild.
Like niggas play poker. I don't get how niggas live like this, fool.
How you live like that? Who wants to live this way?
This is stressful, dog.
Oh my God. And you're choosing to live this way. It's not like life circumstances put you here.
No, bro, he made that choice. He played that hand.
You're like, no, I think I can
beat the game, which is crazy.
Which is life. It's not, because you're like, when you say the game, you mean the odds? What the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
Because you're saying it's like a game. No, you're literally saying, I think I can beat
odds.
Like the 50-50 chance. Whatever.
You know what's funny though? I get that it's not a 50-50. It's a skill game. Clearly, clearly it is.
Yes.
Clearly it is. But I get what you're saying of but once you playing another nigga that's just as skilled. Now what?
What are you talking about? This person also is deeply into this. They have empathetic abilities beyond compare. They can read people like you can read people. What do you think this is? You think you're just playing with your parents?
Yeah. It'd be like Tom Brady looking at Patrick Mahomes like, I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like, yeah, nigga, other niggas are throwing the ball around and practicing. Like, other niggas are doing it too.
Yeah, and that's why they're here. And not at home playing online.
Yeah, no, he's out here for a reason, bro. This nigga's good at this shit. Because I get you're like, because that's I love this movie, because clearly that's what Kanish is telling him. Hey, we can go here. We can go to this spot. Like, we don't have to play in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like, bro? Because you can go beat the odds. You can just go pick one of these easy tables. And yeah, you're not going to win 33. You're not going to win 50 grand like you're trying to win. But you'll win
some
5
money.
grand, 3 grand, 2 grand. What's wrong with, and you know what you want, but you know what won't happen? You will not lose. That's what he was trying to say. The guarantee is you won't lose if we go play at one of these places where you're not going to lose.
Yeah, and also it's like, why is this such a thing? Like, if you're doing this grind lifestyle of gambling, right? Now are you really... Why would it matter now if you play big games like this? You're not playing to gamble. You're playing to make money.
Or are you no? Sam, I love what you just said. We're gonna get into because that's the whole movie is about. You see what Kanish just said? What you just said? Are you playing to gamble? Like, are you playing to play, or are you playing to make money?
Yeah.
And it's like bruh. The question of life. You know what I mean? We'll get into it because the whole movie is about this. So we'll get into it as we go about this. So niggas are looking at him like he's dead. Kanish walks back up to him and just kind of rubs his back.
Oof.
Because he and not on no dick, just on some
No, but it just makes it so much worse. Sometimes human touch is it's like, let me just go within.
Sam, he also has to get him up like,
oh
you can't,
God, you can't.
They can't see you like everybody's seeing. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? These are all sharks. They're seeing you. He's trying to get him up like, hey, you gotta
do this.
This happens. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
But you did. And you got rinsed. And he goes, get up. And Damon's sitting there and he can't move. And he's just trying to that crazy smile people do? Like when they can't believe it. He's just doing that. And he goes, come on. Gets him up. He takes him outside. They're standing there smoking a cigarette. And he goes, Kanish, I lost everything. I'm finished. My case money, my tuition money. And then Kanish is like, hey, happens to everybody. Everyone eventually goes bust. It's just the game. You'll be back before you know it. He goes, no, I'm out. He goes, everyone says that at first, kid. He goes, no, I'm out. He goes, I'll tell you what. I'll stake you. I'll give you the money. I'll give you money, 50, and you gamble with it. 50% of your winnings, I'll take it. And if you lose, it's on me. Don't even worry about it. Like actually some homie shit. Like, you know what I mean? Also, I know you're good enough that you're going to win.
Yeah.
and I'm not just gonna give you money for free. You have to pay me back something.
Yeah.
But if for some reason you lost and this really fucks you up,
don't worry.
I'm not finna I'm not finna fucking beat you up for it. Like, it's okay. And then he goes, no. Matt Damon goes, no, I'm done. If you did that for me, I'd just throw it all away again. You still got the truck? And Kanish goes, sure, come on. They walk off, fade to black. 9 months later, it's like 4 a.m. You see this nigga driving a truck. Just miserable.
What kind of truck?
Like like delivering, dropping shit.
Oh,
like,
man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a delivery truck.
He's just doing like.
He's dropping off. Just so you know exactly. The niggas that drop off shit for the vending machines.
Okay.
That's literally what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's like
stocking
vending machines, fool.
Dang.
Not happy about it.
Well, yeah, you're not even doing law school anymore.
No, we'll get to that.
Or is he?
You hear the voiceover as he's driving. You don't hear much about it. I love this. This was like the thing that got me into the movie. I remember hearing it's like, damn. Because I was doing stand-up when I saw this movie. I was already doing stand-up. So that's where I really connected to this movie. He goes, you don't hear much about guys who take their shot and miss. Well, I'll tell you what happens to them. They end up humping a shitty graveyard shift like this, wondering how they came up short. Because it's like, damn, what does happen to niggas who go for their dreams and don't make it? Because everybody's like, oh, there's people who don't go for their dreams. It's like, no, but then there's people who do.
But it's not even just not making it. It's like, well, you gave up then.
It just fucking killed it. Like,
you're like, I can't go on.
It spat you out.
And it's like, oh, man. That seems worse than like going on and never making it and just dying in the game.
Yeah. At least you're still playing.
Like just watching as a bystander. I would feel like how I'm sure like people feel when, like you're watching a game, like if you play football and you're hurt and you can't play and you're just watching everyone else play and you're like, wow, I can't believe I can't be a part of this.
I can't.
And like, what if they win this Super Bowl without me? And then it's like,
and I'm happy, but I'm miserable.
happy, but I'm miserable because I didn't really win that. That's
people go through that all the time.
That's how it would feel.
And that's what it's saying when people go, oh man, he's a good teammate. That's what they mean. Ugh. He's an actual good teammate, or she is an actual good teammate. Like they really care about the team. Mm-hmm. Even though on inside niggas be hurting, bro. Everybody want to play. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to be a star. But some niggas get hurt and this happens and that happens and it's like, bro, can you be a good teammate?
But yeah, that's what I think is when you give up. That's the feeling.
Facts.
It's like your body didn't give out, your spirit gave out.
That shit hurts. So you hear voiceover. I had a picture in my head, me at the big table, World Series of Poker. But I let that blind me with KGB, and I forgot the cardinal fucking rule. Always leave yourself out. You see him back to dropping off shit. City Law University. Mm-hmm. So he's still in the game.
Okay.
All right. It's nighttime now. You hear the voiceover. You see him walking into into the building. The judges game. I heard about it on the street. It's a rotating group of big-time judges and prosecutors and professors, and they all have big money. In my playing days, it would be pretty sweet to have any of these guys owe me a favor. But rounders don't get in this game anymore. You see him walk in, you see it's a room of these big-time rich old judges, right? Mm-hmm. Not like in there, but like just chilling, but they're playing cards, like in the you know what I mean? They all got their suits on, cigars, whiskey, they clearly look wealthy as fuck. And he goes, but rounders don't get in this game anymore because apparently one time one did, and they found out and he got caught. And now he can't cross the street without getting a fucking parking ticket.
Ooh.
They even took his family business. The place was open since 1907.
Whoa.
Because the judges found out that power. Like that that you came in and like robbed us. Like you didn't tell us that you were like a carp. You played because a rounder.
We were playing the game and you came in and did your work job.
Exactly. Yeah. We're having fun and you came and worked us.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also it is bold though to do that to some like real judges. It's like nigga.
It's wild.
They like have so much power.
Crazy how deep gambling goes in like social connections.
This movie's crazy.
So deep, and I'm not a part of that world at all. So it's wild.
Our friend Quincy Weekly is.
Yep, but I mean, like just how much you see people who play dice, or it's such a deep social connection that I'm just completely disconnected from.
Yeah,
it's blowing my mind.
This movie's so good, Sam. It's so good. So you see our boy Michael come in. Matt Damon, that's his name, Michael.
Oh, his name's Michael. I thought it was Matt Damon. I keep calling him Matt,
but his name's
He's
Michael.
Matt Damon.
But this is like the first time they actually say it. Because somebody goes, the guy, the professor. So he works under one of the judges. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he calls him professor. But that's he's like his underling. So he's still doing all the stuff.
Oh, okay. So he's like an apprentice type.
He's trying to be.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like he's just like in this law school. I think he has a class with him. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like that kind of shit. And he comes in and he goes, "I got your thing, sir." He goes, "Where do you want him?" He goes, "Right over there." He goes, "Yes, sir." And then one of the other judges goes, "Kids, he paying you late night for all this shit?" And then Matt Damon goes, "No, sir, but knowledge is my reward." And then they all laugh because he's not paying them. You know what I mean? But like he's going through the struggle. That's why he's driving the truck. So the guys make fun of him, right? For doing all this late night work for free and like yada yada. And then Mike, they're all playing cards, and Mike, he's just watching. He's only in the room for like 2 seconds. He's watching, and then his guy tells his judge, his professor tells the main guy, like clearly there's a main judge, like a kind of like, oh, he's the top guy. Yeah. He tells him like, hey, Michael's gonna be, lead counsel in the court like the whatever like mock court thing you're doing next week. And he goes, "Oh, really?" And then he gives him some advice and like kind of talk shit to him, like, "Well, you want to do it? Don't trust this and that, yada yada, right?" And Michael's just listening, and then you hear the voiceover as like he fades out, and you hear the voiceover, and he goes, Michael's not paying attention to this nigga.
He's watching the cards.
Because and he goes, "In this collection of great minds, not one good card player."
Wow.
And he looks down and he tells Professor, he goes, "Raise," and he grabs his chips and he goes, "We'll raise you guys $20." And everybody kind of stops, right? And then the professor goes, Michael. I wouldn't have raised. I would have just called right there." And he goes, "Don't worry, I got it." And you hear voiceover. Now, I don't know if I'm bringing my legal career to a crashing halt before it actually even starts, but I just can't help myself. And you see him, now all the judges are quiet, like, all right, and they let it play out. Nobody's saying nothing. Now they're all like serious into the game. All right, raise, check, raise, check, And they all check back to him. And then Michael goes, "What's the limit?" And they go, $20. And he goes, "Okay, good." And he bets $20 more. And then somebody goes, "You seen half the hand. How the fuck are you betting into us?" Right? And then the main judge looks at his judge and goes, "You sure this is wise, Abe, letting the kid do this?" And then our boy answers. Matt Damon goes, "Oh, it's plenty wise. I mean, we know what we're holding, and we know what all you are holding." And then the main judge goes, "The fuck you know what I got?" Like, kind of like, who the fuck you talking to, right? And then our boy goes, "Summer clerkship in your office says I know what you're holding." Bro, this nigga, man, this movie's so good, bro. Yeah. The judge goes, "I would never bet for something like that." Like he's like, "Bro, I'm a top judge. That's clearly like
that's a huge role.
Huge
I can't just give you that."
He goes, "I'm not betting with something like that, but I'll tell you what, I'll put you at the top of the list if you're right."
Okay.
Matt Damon goes, "Done." Okay. Well, he goes, "Well, easily you're looking for the third 3. He goes, "Because I saw how you looked down at the river card, yada, yada. The DA already made his 2 pair, so he's done. It's really no good. And this guy's hoping his queen stands against what we got, but he doesn't know what we got, yada, yada." And so the dean's bet is, he goes, "So again, our bet's $20. And they all go, "Kiss my ass." And they all go, "That's what I had." Like, they all agree, like, holy shit, that's exactly what I had, right? And they all go, "What the hell?" And then they all go, "Abe, what do you got?" And then his judge goes, "I got nothing." Like, I have good cards. And they go, and then Matt Damon goes, "Yeah, good enough to win. Take your money." And then he kind of reaches in and takes all of his money for him. And everybody's smiling, right? And then they're like, and then the main judge goes, "All right, kid, your next assignment, you sit right next to me." And Matt Damon goes, No, I don't play cards. And they go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't play. I'll see you guys tomorrow." And he goes, "See you tomorrow, professor." And he goes, "Have a good one, guys." And he just walks out. And they're all like smiling and talking. And the main judge goes, "I like that kid, Abe." And Abe goes, "Smart kid, right? Like, yeah, I was right. I picked one." Yeah. Right? You see voiceover as our boy walks out. "Damn, it was hard leaving that game. An open invitation to lay with lambs, but I'm retired. I mean, I can always find games. Chesterfield's, this place, that place. Hell, I can turn on the Jersey Turnpike right now and be at the Taj in 2 hours. But I made promises. I'm a law student now." You see him come home. He sees his beautiful girl. He kisses her. She's still with him. Yeah, remember, because he kissed her when he went and lost all that money. So that says, like, okay, this bitch is still around. And he tells her, like, "Yo, tonight went great, yada, yada. But fuck, he talks about how much he hates the job, the day job, driving the truck and all that. But it ended up being a good night because, everything worked out." And then she goes, "Oh, it's all going to be good, baby. Just a few more semesters and then you're done with that. You don't have to worry about the truck. You'll have a real job, yada, yada." They kiss. She goes, "I got to go, by the way. It's getting late." And then he goes, "Oh, come on." And he starts trying to have sex. And he's like, "I'll be quick." And she's like, "No, you won't. Get some sleep." And he's like, "Oh, I'm so tired." And she's like, "Yeah." They talk for a second. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, this is why tonight was so good." She goes, "Oh, what happened?" And he tells her what happened with the judges.
Yeah.
And she gets pissed.
Because of the cards?
She's like, so you played cards with a judge tonight? He goes, no, I wasn't playing. They played. I read their hands. And as long as I don't fuck up this, the court, the mock court thing that we're doing later, because she's on his group. She's also a lawyer as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're in it together. He goes, as long as I don't fuck that up, like, I think I'll be at the top of his the apprentice, apprenticeship. And she gives him more shit.
Yo, because she doesn't realize this is such a world. That's also crazy.
But to her, she saw this nigga lose, bro.
Yeah, you saw it lose. But also but there's also this
He lost your money too.
He lost your money too, 100%. So you look at it like,
this is bad.
This is bad. But also you have to think of it from the perspective of she's a young female lawyer. Mm-hmm. Everything's a boys' club in that world. So you're like, not only is it cards, but it's like all these like guys are doing this. Yeah. And like, how do I don't get access to card games like that. Dude, that would be a whole element of how you would feel.
Maybe, but I think it's way more like drugs or alcohol. Like you're looking at it like that. Like, I've seen you down and out.
Exactly.
You
can't get back into this.
And I get, he's like, but I wasn't playing. She's like, yo, that you're not hearing me. Mm-hmm. You can't be around it, bruh. You can't be around it.
Oh, dude, he's so into it.
He is it. But I do get what you're saying because it's a world she's not in. But I understand from her perspective because I would look at it like alcohol or drugs too. Like, hey, but I don't know what's going on, but I know for a fact you're an addict.
Yeah.
Like that I know.
You can't be doing this.
You can't do this shit. Because you eventually make a fucked up decision. You're not a big star.
Really?
She's beautiful though. And then he looks at her. She starts giving him more shit. He goes, honey, you're the one who told me to use my poker skills in the courtroom. And she goes, yeah, but I think you know what I meant by that. I meant use your head in the courtroom. Like, don't con your way into a summer job. He goes, I wasn't conning anything. I was networking. And she laughs. She goes, wow, so you're conning me now. Which is right. Because she's like, yo, you were conning your way. Like, that wasn't networking. That was you. You set them niggas up. Yeah. You set them up to do that. Yeah. Like, you knew what you was doing. Which is, I'm not saying it's bad, but like, don't act like.
But also, what is networking if it's not conning?
But networking is like, yo,
it's social con. Yeah, what are you talking about? What is conning?
True. I get what she's saying though. I do get what she's saying. Like, bro, you're using the thing that you're addicted to though.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, it's not like alcohol. It's like a food addiction. It's something I have to encounter every day. Gambling is something you encounter every day, whether you do it like in
every gas station has all those gambling things.
Not even that.
No. I'm agreeing with you. Like, I'm agreeing with you. You can't not see it.
Or life is a gamble. You know, like the choices, making a choice is a gamble every day. So it's like a food addiction. It's like I am encountering the possibility of gambling to excess.
Yes.
Or, to my demise every day. Like how people can be addicted to food and overeat or undereat or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's not like something like alcohol where you can just be like, no. It's not in my life.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. Like, that's so deep. Oh, sorry.
No. You're talking. No.
The whole concept is blowing my mind.
So, he goes, she goes, I just don't think you'll get it. I just don't think you understand what I'm telling you. He goes, what? She goes, you'll be like one of those ex-college athletes where you have a great job at the DA office, but also you don't ever have to miss a softball game. She's like, just don't get in on, like, she goes, I don't want you to just be a hustler to them. I want you, you don't be that. He goes, baby, I didn't play. And she goes, okay. She kisses him. She goes, okay, I got to go. I love you. He walks out and he goes, oh shit. Hey, honey. She goes, yeah. He goes, can I borrow the Jeep tomorrow? She goes, yeah, sure. What's up? And he goes, he goes, Worm's getting out. I want to get him. I promised I'd pick him up. And she laughed. She goes, wow. And he goes, what? She goes, I can't believe you still know someone who calls himself Worm. And he goes, hey, he's like my brother. And then she slams the door. Uh-huh. Right? Cut to, you see this nigga pulling up to the prison the next day. You hear a voiceover. I met Worm at school in Jersey. We were the only two kids without a trust fund at this really high fancy private school. The only reason we were there, my father was a custodian, so they took me in. Cut to, you see inside the prison, we see Ed Norton.
Yo!
Ed Norton's so good.
I love Norton.
He's so good in this. He's Worm, all right?
Okay.
And you see Worm playing cards with niggas in jail, and he beats them, right? And the guys in jail like, yo, Worm, you beat us 4 times. You got to be cheating, yada, yada. He takes all the cigarettes and stuff, and he starts talking shit, and they give him shit. And then right then the guard comes up and goes, Murphy, your process. And all the other prisoners go, wait, you're about to leave and you taking all our shit? And he goes, oh, come on, guys, I want it fair and square. And they go, yo, have some fucking decency, Worm. Like, you don't even need that shit. Like, bro, you can buy cigarettes and candy like the moment you step out. Like, this shit means something here. And he goes, you guys are fucking bullshit. And he like goes and he gives it back to him. And he starts talking all this shit to him. And they go, yo, don't add insult to injury, Worm. That shit comes back to hurt you. And he goes, not in this life, Holmes. Peace. And he leaves. Very, I caught that line today. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't notice he's ever said that before. So you hear back to the voiceover. Worm's dad did the grounds, which is how Worm's dad did the grounds at that school. That's how he got in. That's how they got it in because their dads worked at the place.
Okay.
All right, to this really nice private school, kind of like some Christian Brothers shit. You know what I mean? Imagine if your dad worked there, now you can get in, or your dad's a teacher or whatever. So he goes, when his dad wasn't drunk, wasn't too drunk, he would do the grounds, and then when he was, we would do it. But Murph and me, how we really made money was we ran a scam a day. Kept us in lunch money. You know what I mean? He goes, and everything went good until one day we went for more than just pocket change, and we got caught. We had the basketball team take an actual dive. Only problem was the point guard snapped and gave up Worm. Worm was in front of the principals and the SI superintendent, and he could have snitched on me, but he didn't. He got expelled. I stayed in school. I graduated. I'm where I am now. Not many guys stand up for a friend like Worm did for me.
Wow.
See how their that's why he feels like he owes him, because their lives went completely different ways because of that one thing.
And yours could have just gone with his. And he was like, nah, it doesn't have to be that way for both of us. Dang, dude, what is this movie?
So he comes out to prison and he's like, yo, he's like, Michael. And they hug, big hug. And he goes, I knew you'd be here. You never let me down. I knew you'd be here, man. Oh. And he goes, well, you look great. He's like, thanks, man. You too. He goes, holy shit, look at your ride, because it's a nice Jeep. He goes, nah, it's not mine. I borrowed it from my girl. He goes, oh, well, whatever. Fuck him. Drive me away from as far as you can from this place. He gives it the middle finger, right? And then they in the car, and you see Ed Norton telling him about jail and how it works. And so there's cash and there's trade, all right? And the trick is I have to take enough cash gambling off the white guys that I can lose money playing to the guards, so that way the guards take care of me and I don't get fucked up. And then I got to make sure I skim enough smokes off the black guys that I can trade back to the white guys, and I got to do all this while not getting my ass kicked. Right? And then he goes, what's that? And he shows him he got a tattoo while he's in there, and it's like an ace. And he goes, look, oh, he's got an ace up my sleeve now, dog. He goes, look at my chops. And he shows him all these fancy card tricks that he can do now, right? He goes, my shit's getting blinding, dog. You should see me now. I'm real good. And he goes, oh, damn. Matt Damon's impressed. And then he goes, what about you, Michael? You working on your game? Your shit's still sharp? And Matt Damon goes, no, I'm off it. The great Mikey's off it? Get the fuck out of here. I know you're not off it. And he goes, no, man, seriously, I'm off it. What do you mean? I got cleaned out. The great Mikey McDermott lost? Are you kidding me? Yeah, a real bloodbath game at KGB's. You sat down with the mad Russian and he emptied your pockets? He goes, yeah, I didn't want to tell you. And you see Norton's like, no. He said, that's why I didn't tell you. I didn't want to break your spirits while you're in there. I knew it was already hard enough. He goes, oh my God, I'm glad you didn't. That would have killed me. He goes, how you doing now? He goes, I'm fine. Seriously, I'm fine. I'm driving Kanish's truck. No, you're driving the truck, man? No, we're not having that. We're going to get you back in the game. He goes, no. Seriously, man, I'm done. Okay. No, seriously, I'm done. He goes, no, I know. Perfect game for us. I already got it set up, yada, yada. And he goes, look, man, I'll drop you off, but I'm not playing. And Edward Norton goes, okay. Cut to, they pull up to this really nice Ivy League campus. And Ed Norton goes, this is it. You can drop me off here. And he goes, oh, really? What's the play? And he goes, well, here's the play. I know this girl, Barbara, right? So hot. I was trying to fuck her before I went in. Well, anyway, she works as a hostess for this restaurant for these huge trust fund babies. And she introduced me as her cousin who's in town and wants to learn how to play poker. And then Matt Damon goes, oh, that sounds nice. He goes, only problem is what? He said, I only got one problem. He goes, what? I got this feeling that, he goes, what? He goes, well, the table's set. I got my knife, I got my fork, I got my sauce, I got my Luger. He goes, you don't have no steak. He goes, exactly. He goes, really? He goes, I got you. He goes, really? He goes, what would help you out? He goes, a nickel would start me off nice. He goes, I don't have a nickel. I'll give you $2.20. He goes, $2.20? I mean, thanks, but what is this, 11 bets? And then Matt Damon goes, well, forget this game. I'll get you situated tomorrow in the city. Don't worry about that. I'll be able to give you more money if we go home. I wasn't planning on this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Ed Norton goes, no, I got to get started right now. We have to do this. I'm behind. He goes, what do you mean you got to get started right now? You literally just got out of jail 20 minutes ago. What's the hurry? And he goes, the hurry is, brother, he goes, it was other than you, there's 5 other guys waiting on my release, and they're not so happy about it.
Ooh.
And he goes, oh, shit, how much you owe? He goes, 10. He goes, 10? You owe 10? He goes, probably even more with the juice. I can't even figure. He goes, oh, Jesus Christ. He goes, well, come inside. Let's do this together. You know if we work together, we'll make so much money. And Matt Damon goes, yo, I heard you asking before, and I hear you asking me now. He's serious.
Yeah.
I can't, man. I made promises. And he goes, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. He goes, I'll make some moves, I guess, earlier than I would have. I'll figure it out. But I'll catch you in the city tomorrow? He goes, yeah, I'll catch you in the city tomorrow. He goes, Mike, it was great to see you. And they hug. He goes, you too, man. He gets out the car. Our boy drives off real sad. He's like, oh. Just he's heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then he's driving, and you see from a distance, you see the car stop.
Oh.
And you hear the voiceover. The car, it's just the shot is great. It's just a car way in the distance, and you hear the voiceover. In Confessions of a Winning Poker Player, the great whatever the guy who wrote the book, forgot his name, but the great whatever says, a few players recall big pots they've won, but every player remembers with remarkable accuracy their tough beats. Which is true.
Yeah.
Niggas don't remember their best sets. Everybody remembers their worst bomb.
Yeah.
That's just the most true shit in the universe, bro. And he goes, cut to, you see our boy walking back into the Ivy League school, Mikey McDermott. He's parked, he walked in. And he goes, man, nothing else seems more true to me than that statement. Because walking in here, I can't remember how I even got my bankroll. But goddamn, I can't stop thinking about how I lost it.
What?
You see him walk in, you see the girl come up. She goes, Mikey, Worm said you'd be here. And he smiles. He's like, huh? He goes, he did, huh? She goes, yeah. And she goes, so you're here to play, right? She goes, so here's the play. You're here to play. He goes, yeah, so here's the play. You're my boyfriend. I'll get you in the game. Just act like you're my boyfriend, yada, yada. It'll be good. And then he goes, oh, well, thanks for all that, but, I'm not really much of a card player, so, don't expect much out of me. And she stops and she grabs it. She goes, bullshit. That's precisely what you are, and my cut is 25%. And he smiles. He goes, oh, I understand. Like, he was like, oh, I didn't know, because she was like, hey, you think you're playing me too? Like, he's thinking she's a part of the play.
Yeah.
Like, we conning this bitch too.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, no. Nigga, I know what you are. I know what's happening. 25% of what you like, when you walk out that door, I want my fucking money.
Crazy.
I know what y'all do. That's also cool that, like, damn, there's some girls like, yo, I don't even play poker, but I can set these niggas up and make a bankroll, and I don't even have to feel bad about it. I didn't even do anything.
I didn't do anything. I have access to people.
Crazy. Babe, right?
I can't believe this world. Okay.
So she walked, because the world's so real. That's what makes it crazy. Like, this is a real world. This isn't some make-believe
I feel like
Pandora.
I've seen it peripherally all the time.
We walk by it all the time.
Ugh.
It's like how you don't see cocaine, but it's always around.
Oh, yeah. You always know what's happening.
So she walks in, right? And she goes, gentlemen, this is my boyfriend, Michael. You see Worm look up and kind of notice him. And he doesn't say it. He just kind of smiles like to himself. And she goes, be nice to him and leave him enough money to buy me breakfast. And she kissed him on the cheek. She's like, I'll see you in a little bit, babe. And they're like, oh, pull up a chair. And he's like, oh, what are you guys playing? He's acting like he doesn't know what's going on. You see Worm starts dealing. Mike looks up, and he immediately has a great hand. And they both kind of smile at each other, like with their eyes. Because, Worm knows all these card cheats now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he goes, Worm and I fall into rhythm like it's nothing. We pull out all the old tricks. Stuff we can never do at a casino or in the city. But, he goes, literally all the cheats. You see them just cheating these fucking white boys to death, right? He goes, could I win this game straight up? Of course. But here, there's no risk in this room. Some people might say, hey, it's immoral what Worm's doing right now. You see Worm just cheating and shit. He goes, but what the great Bill Jones always said, it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money. So we see Mike just winning. And he goes, man, Worm really has become an artist. He knows all the cheats. His technique is flawless. Only problem is his judgment's a little off. A few times tonight I folded just so it won't be so obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
But he plays the part of a loser to perfection. And you see Worm like the whole night pulling his hair out. And Edward Norton just killing it. He's just like flipping over and shit. And he's just so mad. And then finally you see him go, fuck you and your never-ending string of boats, and fuck you. And he goes, well, as my uncle always said, when the money's gone, it's time to move on. Fuck! And he gets up and he leaves. And then Michael kind of smiles. He's like, nice meeting you. And then he goes, hey, you guys want to keep playing? And they're like, yeah. And you see, like, he's just waxing these guys, bro. Cut to more, a couple hours go by. He walks out later with the girl. And then you see Murph pull back up in the car. And he goes, how we do? And he pulls out a bunch of cash. And he goes, here's your cut. And he gives the girl $300. She's like, nice doing business with you boys. And she's like, when do you guys want to do it again? And Mike goes, oh, no, I'm done. And, everyone's like, oh, 2 weeks. Like, let's do it. Let's run it back, She's like, all right. So the girl walks off, and then Mike looks at Ed Norton. He goes, yo, how the fuck did you know I was coming back? He goes, what do you mean, how'd I know? Your favorite actor. And he goes, Clint Eastwood. He goes, Clint Eastwood. The Outlaw, Jonesy Wales, your favorite movie? You always double back for a friend. I know you. And he smiles like, damn, this nigga knows me. You know what I mean? That was always one of my favorite lines too. It was very subtle, but just like, oh, these guys they know each other, but they old friends, fool. So they get in the city, and he's like, yo, I got to get home. My girl's going to fucking kill me. There's no way she's not so pissed. They've been gone all night.
Yeah.
It's the morning now.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? So he drops them off, and they're walking into a place. He's like, yo, this is Chesterfield's. All right, this isn't Teddy KGB's place. Like, it's not that serious, but he's like, this ain't the Ivy League place either, so don't fuck around. Play on your belly, which means play straight up. Like, don't cheat. Like, don't fuck around.
Yeah.
This is, these people are a little more real,
yeah.
And he goes, they'll spot every move you make, so don't fuck up. And he goes, I won't. I'll play it straight. Oh, he's annoyed. They get buzzed in, they walk in. It's Jean Grey from X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
Looking super hot, right? And she goes, Mikey. And she walks up and she like gives him a hug, and they clearly fucked. And he's like, yo, what up, girl? Like, you can tell he's like, he's like trying to like, yeah. Like, that's not why I'm here, right? And he intros his boy. It's my brother, Les Murphy. This is my boy, Les Murphy. He's like my brother. And, he introduces himself. He's like, yo, just call me Worm. And then they look at, there's a game going on. And Mike's like, yo, I got to go. He's like, yo, fuck all that, Mike. Come on, we can cut this room up in an hour. Don't leave. And he's like, no, I got to go. He's like, oh, run along then. Say hi to her for me. You see him leave. And he's like, oh, what a waste. She has him by the balls. And then Jean Grey's like, that's not so bad. Because she's clearly still into him. You know what I mean? And he goes, yeah, but it depends on the grip. And then she laughs. And he goes, all right, give me $2,000. And she goes, $2,000? And he goes, yeah, you heard Mike. I'm good for it. And she hesitates. She goes, come on, it's on his tab, but you know I'm good for it. And she's like, all right. And he goes, I'm going to triple this money in like an hour, so just give it to me. And she does. Okay?
Oh, no.
So our boy Mikey gets home. His girl's just sitting there pissed. She's looking at him. And he's like, hey. She's like, hey. And she goes, did the like driving the truck run late? Like, what happened? And he goes, no, I was going to call. I didn't want to wake you. I'm sorry. And then she goes, well, we got to go to our group meeting for the lawyer thing. We got to go to our meeting, like for the group, right? And he goes, yeah. I'm going to change and we'll get a cab. But he's like, actually, I got to shower first. I've been out all night. If I miss the beginning of the meeting, can you just cover for me? And he just walks past her towards the shower. And she's like, hey. And he stops. And she's like, give me a story. He goes, what? You were feeling it? And she's like, tell me something. Tell me you were out drinking all night so you threw up. Tell me you guys, got in an accident. Tell me, you were out getting lap dances. Tell me something. And he goes, what? I was entertaining Worm all night. That's all. She's like, so you weren't near a card game? And he's like, oh. She goes, so you weren't near a card game? And he goes, no, I wasn't near a card game. She goes, okay, I'll wait for you then. Go shower. He's like, all right. And he goes and he showers. She's sitting there. She's so pissed. I get her too. She's like, because when she says, tell me a story, it's like, damn, you're immediately kind of on her side of like, well, nigga, lie to me.
Yeah.
Say, you can't just walk by me and like.
Act like you weren't out all night with my car.
With my car. And I'm not even saying shit. I'm not even mad at you. But don't walk in like nothing happened. Like, because if he'd have came in drunk and they were drinking, she would have been like, okay, at least I know what was going on. He saw his old friend. They went and got drunk. Like, I get where she's coming from. Mm-hmm. Like, you went and saw your old friend from prison. Like, maybe you took him to get some pussy. I'm not mad at that. Like, all these things are understandable. But you're not saying shit means, what did you go do? Mm-hmm. The one thing. Because she's like, I'm not even thinking you out cheating on me. Because I know that's not who you are. But I know you, nigga. So she sits there. She hears the shower start running, and she goes in the bathroom, and she starts going through his clothes. Immediately finds a huge wad of cash.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then she just puts it on the window so he sees it, like, and then she leaves. Cut to, she's at the meeting with the group, right? Yada, yada. And you see our boy walk up, and he sits down. The group is all mad at him for being late, obviously, because they're like, yo, like, take this fucking seriously, like, yada, yada. We can't just be fucking around. And he's like, I know. He's like, all right, let's get started. And right when they were about to get to work, Kanish walks up.
Huh.
You know, remember Kanish?
Yeah.
He walks up, and his girlfriend, they know each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, Joe. And she's like, Kanish. And he's like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, future magistrates and lawyers. You know, future magistrates and rulers of the world. But if you don't mind, I need to speak to our boy for just one moment, please. And Matt Damon's like, yo, I can't. He's like, it's important. And he's like, I'll be right back. And then the group is like, they're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, bruh, this is serious.
Yeah.
You know? Like, also, it's law school. It's like, bro, this is like really serious.
Yeah.
So you see, they go outside, and Kanish is like, yo, your boy's a cheat. He's at Chesterfield's right now, ruining your reputation. He's like, man, he's like, fuck. Did anyone else see him? He goes, no, but the snapping sound gave it away. I turned, and he had the mechanic's grip that I know. A mechanic's grip is like a grip of any way a dealer holds the cars that it's a way to cover up that you cheat. Like it's a certain grip. They call it the mechanic grip. Uh-huh. Apparently, though, all dealers in Vegas have this grip.
Oh.
So that way you can't, it makes it harder.
Oh, wow.
Even though they're not cheating, it's just so that way it's a certain grip that apparently like they use. It's like it just, you can cover up what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's like, fuck, I'll go get him. And he starts running. He runs for Worm, right? And you hear the voiceover. The great Amarillo Slim. He always held to his father's maxim. You can shear a skeet many times. You can skin him only once. This is a lesson Worm never wanted to learn. Mm. You see back to Worm, he's in there and he's talking shit to these Russian niggas, right? And the Russian niggas, he's like, yo, only speak English at the table, yada, yada. And he's like winning a bunch of money off of them, right? And he's talking real slick to him. And the Russians are getting mad, like for real.
Yeah.
Like they starting to get really mad at Worm. Right then Mike walks in and he's like, yo, I need to talk to you. And Worm's like, yo, come on, I'm on a roll. And he's like, no, seriously, right now, come on. He's like, don't touch my shit. I'll be right back. He's like, they won't. Come on. There's cameras everywhere. And they takes him out. He takes him outside. He's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? He's like, what do you mean what's going on? I was pumped up on 8Gs. Why are you taking me outside? He goes, yo, you're in town 5 minutes, man, and you already have a fucking sign on your back. And he goes, oh, Kanish, that piece of shit ratted me out. Fuck him, man. He sees all the angles, but he doesn't have the balls to play one. He goes, yo, that guy hasn't worked in 15 years. And he goes, you think that, he goes, and then the Worm goes, you think that's work? You think that's work? What you think that isn't work, what he does? Are you crazy? Grinding it out on his leather ass? That's fucking work. And Matt Damon goes, yeah, I used to think that too. And now I know what real work is. Trust me.
Yeah, also, it's like, what are you talking about? You guys love to gamble.
You're
just
for a
doing
living.
more gambling. I don't understand.
He just does it smart. He just don't take risks.
Yeah. What? Okay. So,
I'm talking about Kanish. He just don't take risks. Which is, I guess, actually how you should play. You're never stressed.
Yeah, you're never stressed.
But I get it. We'll get there, though. So he goes, yada, yada. He goes, I thought that was work, but now I know what real work is. He goes, you, man, seems like you fucking want to go back to jail. And Worm's like, yo, just stop worrying about me, yada, yada. And Matt Damon's like, yo, I just need you to think long term. Be smart. If you get listed as a mechanic, you're done. You get your ass kicked, and you won't get a game. You won't be able to get in a game anywhere in New York City. They make lists, and they pass them around to each other. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and then Worm goes, see, that's what I love about you. You think about the big picture. But that's not me. I don't play it straight up. All right? I lose, and I don't play it straight up, lose, and then now I got to go get some real fucking job. Fuck that. I see a mark, I take him down. And he goes, look, I know that's you. He goes, yeah. And he goes, and I'm not going to preach to you. But those guys in there, those aren't little mouses you're fucking with. They're not little Ivy League schoolboys. Those are real Russian mafia outfit guys. You don't fuck with them, man. You have time. Go back in there, lose the money back to him. He goes, I'm not losing that money back to him. He goes, no, seriously. Lose that money back to him. He goes, bro, I can't. I got to put scratch together. And then he's like, yo, you can play this game, you can play this game, you can make your money back. But go in there and dump to these guys. He goes, I can't dump to these guys. Do it. He goes, oh, all right. Well, meet me at Stromboli's in half an hour. He goes, I can't. I got to go to work. He goes, God damn, you're always a working man now. I fucking hate this life of yours. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, go back in there, lose that money. He's like, all right. Worm goes back in. He does not lose the money. He goes to leave. He's up $8,000. So he won a lot of money. He's up $8,000. Yeah. All right. Remember, he started with 2. Now he's up 8. Jean Grey says, how'd you do? He goes, oh, up 8Gs, yada, yada. And he goes, but I think I'm going to walk out with all of it. And she goes, well, credit players don't do that, because if you walk out with all of it, then you owe $2,000 now. Yeah. And then the juice starts on Mike because it's on his tab, not yours.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it's all right. We'll owe you. And she's like, okay. She does it. So Mike goes and he sees his girl. She's so pissed.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, hey, Joe, come here. She's like, I found that gangster roll in your pocket. You lie to my face, Mike McDermott? She goes, the old you lost everything, but you never lied. He's like, he goes, Joe, you don't understand. That wasn't a real game, all right? I had to win that money. She goes, what do you mean it wasn't a real game? He's like, it was like wiffle ball. I couldn't lose. She goes, no, Mike, you could lose. I've seen you lose. And I stood by you when you lost fucking everything. And he goes, Joe, I wasn't going to lose. How many times do I have to explain this to you? This isn't gambling. Yeah. He goes, why do you think the same 5 guys are in the World Series of Poker every year? What the fuck? You think they're the luckiest guys in Vegas? Do you really think that? It's a skill game, Joe. And she goes, I don't care about that. Why'd you lie to me? He goes, because you wouldn't understand. She goes, understand what? He goes, that you wouldn't understand that when I sat at that table last night, it was the first time I felt alive since I got busted at KGB's joint. And she goes, oh, wow. He goes, what? And she goes, you just told me the first time you felt alive in like a year was sitting at a fucking card table? And she just kind of walks off. And he's like, because also I felt him on that one, like, bitch, wow, you didn't even understand what I was trying to tell you. It makes me feel something in life. Cut to, we see Worm. He's at a strip club. And you see this dude walk up. And he goes, Worm, I heard you was out. He looks over, and it's a kind of a big buff kind of guy. He goes, Grandma. You know, it's an actor you'd recognize. Like, I don't know his name, but you've seen him and shit. Mm. And he goes, I was just thinking about you, man. Talk to me in a little while. I'll get you back on my payroll. And he goes, no, Worm. I'm out on my own now. Things have changed since you've been locked up. And Worm's like, oh, yeah, go figure. He goes, yeah. You know, it's lots of angry people that you left when you went away. A lot of people were mad at you. A lot of people looking for you. You know, it got me to thinking. And then Worm goes, oh, you're thinking now? And he grabs the fuck out of Worm and throws him in the bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, look, so instead of the 15 grand you owed the 5 guys, I collected all your debt. And now you owe me 20 grand. Mm. He's like, what? And then he punches the shit out of Worm. He goes, Jesus Christ. He goes, Grandma, you were my fucking partner. He goes, no, I wasn't your partner. I was your lackey. But I learned. I consolidated all that outstanding debt of yours. And then he slaps the shit out of him. And he goes, not only that, I didn't have to pay for it. Teddy KGB backed me. And then he goes, Worm's like, Teddy KGB has goons. He don't need you. He goes, yeah, he doesn't need me. But when he heard your name, he got real excited about fucking you up. And I got a sweet deal, 40 cents on the dollar. He goes, oh, so you're a banker, Mac? You're a banker now, Grandma? He goes, yeah, I am. And I don't have to tell you my collection methods either, do I? And you see Worm kind of get nervous. He goes, so I'm going to take what you got on you right now. And he takes some of his money. And then he punches him. And then he reaches in his other pocket and he takes all of it. He's like, God damn, Grandma. He goes, yeah, I'll see you in a week, motherfucker. And he leaves. And Worm's beat up, right? Cut back to, we see Mike. He walks into this really nice fancy bar, like with the dim lighting, that rich people go to, and he sees his professor, the judge. Yeah. And the professor's just reading a book and has a drink. And he goes, hey, excuse me, Professor, sorry to interrupt, but you mind if I sit? He goes, Michael, please have a seat. And he goes, Michael, he's really Jewish. That was a nifty trick the other night. He goes, oh, thank you. Of course, it was a whole different trick, your disappearing act on your group's meeting today. So I've heard. And he goes, yeah, that's why I'm here. I figured I owe you an explanation. He goes, no, you don't owe it to me. Now, I'm sure there was a reason you left, but just know you have to work harder now. And you also need to smooth things out with the others. Do that for me. He goes, yes, sir. And he gets up to go leave. And he goes, no, Michael. Stay, have a drink. And he's like, oh, okay. They sit. He's like, he pours him a drink. He goes, Michael, I know a magician doesn't divulge his secrets, but. And he goes, look. He goes, Professor, I'm no magician. He goes, well, then how did you know? He goes, I watched the cards when they came out. He goes, that's for me, Professor, that's an old habit. Like, I don't know, breathing. And the professor's like, he goes, so you watch the cards? He goes, well, no, I watch the reaction to the cards, their eyes. And then I watch their reaction when they see the river card. He goes, wow, you watch the man. And then Michael stops for a second. And then he goes, okay, you want to know the truth? And he actually tells him, like, the science behind what he's looking at. Okay. And how easy it is to spot everything. Like, easy. And, like, how he knew exactly. Like, even, and then he tells the professor, like, yo, you want to win that game the next time you're playing? He tells him what to do to win the next time they play and how he'll easily beat all the other guys. Yeah. And the professor's like, you're officially never invited to our game again. And he laughs. He goes, hey, I don't blame you, Professor. Put a guy like me in a game like that, I'll play it blind. Cards don't even matter. He's like, what? He's like, bro, that means I don't have to look at the cards. I'll not look at the cards, just look at y'all's faces and beat y'all.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, I mean, that's if you're playing people who don't play all the time. I
don't even need the cards.
Yeah, it's not about the cards.
Your dumb face is going to tell me everything I need to know. He goes, Michael, can I tell you a story? And Michael's like, please. He goes, for generations, my family were rabbis. And it was to be my calling that I would also be a rabbi. They said I had a 40-year understanding of the Mishvah when I was 12 years old. He's like, whoa. He goes, but when I was 13, Michael, I knew I couldn't be a rabbi. Why not? All I understood of the tablet, I didn't see God there. I tried. I just didn't. He goes, but I mean, it worked out. You chose a really respectable job. Not to my parents, Michael. My parents, they were devastated by my decision. My father sent me away to New York to live with distant cousins. But eventually, I found my place in this world and my life's work. He goes, well, what then? He goes, well, then I immersed myself. Everything I knew about the law, I learned it. I felt it's what I was born to do. I saw God in it. But he goes, what about your parents? Did they ever get over it? No. I always hoped that one day I'd change their minds and they'd be proud, but they were inconsolable. My father never spoke to me again. It's quiet for a second. And Michael goes, if you had to do it all again, would you make the same choice? And the professor takes a drink. What choice? He goes, Michael, the last thing I took from my religion is this. We can't run from who we are. Our destiny chooses us. Lie 'em. They drink again. I love that scene, bro. The professor's talking, bro, he's giving him game right there. He was giving him like real life old man wisdom. Like, bruh, I made a choice that my they didn't talk to me again. But it wasn't even a choice. I would do that shit. And he clearly loves his family. It wasn't like from a place of like, it was just like, bruh, I ain't no fucking rabbi. I'm a lawyer. I'm a judge. Like, that's what I do. That's wild, bruh.
That is wild.
So our boy, Michael, gets home and Worm is there and he's kind of beat up. And he goes, yo, what happened to you? And he doesn't really tell him. And he goes, yo, let me come up. And he goes, look, things have not been good with me and my girl lately. So just tone it down and be less Worm. He goes, tone down what, motherfucker? And he's like, God damn, never mind. And Worm laughs. And then they walk upstairs. And when they walk in, everything's gone. And Worm's like, yo, did you get robbed? And he's like, not exactly. And then Worm's like, wait. She split on you. Oh, shit. And he walks around and Worm's like, Mike, she made off with your sheets. Oh, Mike. Like you can tell, he's like, oh, no, this is real. Oh, no. Damn, I thought that too. Like, damn, I couldn't imagine coming back saying everything's just gone.
I took the sheets.
Because you would.
I'd take those sheets.
And it would just be like, damn, she really left, fool. She took the fucking sheets. And Mike's like sitting there. He's like, fuck. She was a good one. And I knew it. He sits down. He's all hurt. And then Ed Norton is like, oh, Mike, this hurts. This is depressing. God, you can't trust him. You domesticated yourself for this girl. And the minute you want a little bit of your life back, she walks out on you. And the great saying of life, and the great saying of poker is life, women are the rake. They are the fucking rake. And then Mike looks up and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The fuck? What are you talking about? And Ed Norton's like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And it's quiet. And Ed Norton goes, you know what cheers me up? And Mike goes, what? Well, he goes, when I'm feeling shitty, what cheers me up is rolled up aces over kings. And you see Mike look up. And he's like, check raising stupid tourists and taking huge pots off them. Towers of checks. And playing all night, no limit at the Taj, where the sand turns to gold. And Mike's like, fuck it. Let's go. Don't you tease me. Man, let's play some fucking cards. Mm-hmm. Yeah! And then they fucking leave. You see them driving. They're so happy, bro. And you hear the voiceover. Poker at the Mirage in Vegas, that's where the legends consider their office. Every couple days, a new millionaire shows up trying to meet and beat the next world champion. But here at the Taj, it's more about craps. But you can make a lot of money at those poker tables still.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists, you know? So they get to the hotel. Worm's like, yo, I got to go find a hooker, yada, yada. It's been a while. So our boy leaves, and he starts walking around the casino. The casino's packed. And he walks over, and he sees a table, and it's all his homies. Like all the homies that are rounders. Gene Gray, you know what I mean? The old dudes. And you see, like, the people, remember in that first game where he loses to KGB, there's other people at the table who kind of look at him like this when he loses. It's them. They're his homies. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And he goes, oh, well, if it isn't the Chesterfield South, had to come all the way to Atlantic City to see your ugly mugs. And then right then, Kanish walks up behind him, and he's like, whoa, this is what I like to see. Mike with the scumbags dragging the occasional pot. You know, I was going to go make some real money tonight, but in honor of Mike's Ali-like return to the ring, I think I'll sit with you guys for a while. And you see Kanish sit down, and they all smile. And then one guy goes, you know, if we were just going to take each other's roles, we could have stayed home. We didn't have to drive all the way here to do it. Right then, these two tourists sit, and they all look at each other and smile. And you hear the voiceover. These two guys have no idea what they just walked into.
Whoa.
And you see these two dudes all happy, like, and they like have their name tags. They're clearly like on a business meeting, you know, like, you know
Whoa.
what I mean?
And they're just going to take their money, all of them.
And he goes, these two idiots just walked into some random casino, like, just walked up to a random table. Oh, let's give poker a try, I guess. All the luck in the world won't change things for these guys. Now, we aren't playing together, but we're not against each other either. It's like the Nature Channel. You don't see piranhas eat each other, do you? Genius. I love that. I'm like, hey, like, we ain't helping each other, but I'm not playing against him.
Yeah.
He's good. I'll just eat you.
Yeah.
And if I don't eat you, she will. Like, one of them will eat you, but one of us is going to eat you. Mm-hmm. That shit is crazy to me. He goes, these fucking new players, they wear their signs like tails around their necks, little unconscious gestures that reveal their entire hand. When they act strong, they're bluffing. When they act meek, they have a great hand. It's literally that easy. And you see them just fucking these niggas up, right? Cut to Worm finally walks up. And then everybody's like, Worm, glad you're out. And then people are talking shit. You can tell people don't really fuck with Worm.
Yeah.
Right? And you see Worm like, oh, whatever. And he takes some of Mike's chips and he's like, all right, let's play. And the dealer's like, yo, you can't. Sir, you have to buy your own chips. You can't use somebody else's chips. He's like, oh, fuck it, fine. Yo, fuck this no limit shit. I got comped at the noodle bar. Let's go, Mike. Let's go, Mike. I'm buying. And then Kanish goes, interesting, Mike. He's buying when it's a comped meal. Remember that. Right? And then you see, like, he talks a bunch of shit to Kanish Worm, and then they walk off. Mm-hmm. So you see they're eating, and Mike goes, yo, why the fuck you taking chips from my table? You already out of money? How much did you spend on the hooker? He goes, no, I wasn't that. He goes, did you give it all back to the Russians? I didn't say give it all back to them. I said just give them some of their money back. He goes, no, I wasn't that. He goes, what was it? I ran into Grandma tonight. He took everything I had. But who the fuck's he working for? He went up and bought all my debt on his own. That motherfucker, he's not working for nobody? And you see him think for a second. He goes, no. He goes, what do you owe him? 15 G's. Jesus, Worm, why didn't you tell me I could have paid that? I could have paid that. I had that money. I had it. He goes, I know. I just didn't want to ask you. It was embarrassing, all right? He goes, well, I'll help you. He goes, you know I'll help you. And fuck that guy. We'll figure it out. He goes, oh, thank you, Mike. Cut to. It's the next day. We see the judges in their robe in the big, like, what's the room where judges do their thing and lawyers come in? What's that room called? It has a name, right? Courtroom. Jesus Christ, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
So they're in the courtroom, and the judges are pissed. It's the main judge, the one that liked Mike at the end. Now he's pissed. And they're looking at their watch. You see the professor judge, he's looking at his watch.
Oh, my God.
You see all the groups kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Even the other group, there? Like his girl, that group, the other group who they're going against, because everybody's like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo.
He's lead counsel.
This is bad.
You see him run in. He's like, sorry, so sorry I'm late. And everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm sorry. And they go, the head judge goes, lead counsel, plaintiff Mr. McDermott, please proceed if it is convenient for you. And you see him look up and he's like, yes, it is. And again, I'm sorry I'm late. Well, I think clearly this case, which controls the issue at bar, which is Texas versus Johnson, and right then everyone goes, oh my God, everyone. And then the judge goes, Texas versus Johnson. Mr. McDermott, each group was told to ignore that. They were given that this morning. Like, to not bring that up, to not use that as a site.
Oh.
And he's like, and then right then the other lady in his group stands up. She goes, Mr. McDermott wasn't here for this morning's meeting or yesterday's meeting. So if it is okay with you, I'd like to step up as lead counsel. And then the judge goes, if someone who could talk and knows what they're talking about, please proceed. Like, now he's pissed. And you see Mike sit down. His girl won't even look at him. And he's just like so embarrassed, right? Cut to they leave. His group's giving him a bunch of shit. He's apologizing. His girl comes, and then his girl just walks right by him. He comes up to his girl, like, yo, Joe, you're not even going to talk to me? And she goes, what do you want to talk about? He goes, you left me. You left me so quick. Like, and she goes, it wasn't my decision, Mike. You made me make that. He goes, what do you mean? She goes, Mike, this is what you taught me. Throw in your cards when you have a bad hand. Fold when you know it's time. And he goes, yo, this isn't some losing hand at poker. This is me and you were talking about. Oof. And then she stares at him. Like, he's like, so this is really it. That's the last of it. And she goes, yeah. And she walks off. And then she turns, she goes, I'd say good luck, but I know it's not about luck in your game. And he's like, oof. Right? Cut to that night. He's sitting there, he's having a drink, and he's watching the World Series of Poker. Like an old video, like one from like the 80s or something. And it's the great Johnny Chan, who's like one of the greatest poker players ever, right? And it's like a real video. Like, it ain't like, you know, it's real. And you see him make some guy fall for his bait, and you see the voiceover, and he goes, and just like that, Chan has him, the master. And you see him rewatching this move over and over where he just kind of baits this guy, and this guy puts all his chips in, and then the Johnny Chan guy beats him. Yeah. And you see the guy, they show his face, and it looks just like our boy's face in the beginning of the movie, right? And he just keeps rewinding this moment over and over. Cut to Jean Grey comes in. She's like, yo, Mikey, it's me. He buzzes her in. She comes up. She's looking good as shit. He's like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh. She goes, wow, I haven't seen the place in a while. Looks the same. He's like, yeah. And because everything's gone. Yeah. It looks the same when she was around. Does that make like that was very subtle, but it's like, damn, that makes so much sense. Yeah. And he goes, you want some scotch? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And she goes, ooh, 88 World Series. Johnny Chan flops the nut straight and has the discipline to wait him out. And they're both watching, and Michael's just staring. And she goes, just like that. Ooh, Johnny Chan's got him. Damn, that kid doesn't even know what hit him. And Mike's like, yeah, I know that feeling. And then he hits stop, and he goes, well, I know you didn't come over here to talk about this. What's going on? And she goes, well, Mikey, tomorrow's a week. And he goes, a week of what? She goes, a week of you owing. You owe $2,000 at the Chesterfield. And he goes, fuck. Worm? And she's like, yeah. And she tells him what Worm did, how he walked out with all the money like a crazy person, you know? Yeah. And she goes, well, what does he owe you now? She goes, Mikey, he ran your tab up $7,000. He goes, what? She goes, yeah. He goes, well, do me a favor. Just put him on his own, all right? Cut him off. Is that okay? She goes, yeah, it's okay. He goes, look. And he gives her $1,000. He goes, this is all I have. He goes, I'm sorry. I just started coming back. She goes, no, Mikey, this is perfect. Just thanks for making it easy. He goes, yeah, of course. No problem. Mm-hmm. No problem. She goes, I'm sorry to be here for this reason. You know I like being here. It's good to see you, Mike. Whew. And she kisses him. And then he stops her, and she goes, I can stay. And he goes, no. I'll see you later. And she goes, okay. He goes, yeah, I'll come by this weekend. She goes, all right. And she leaves. And he takes something, and he smashes it. He's so fucking pissed. Yeah. $7,000 is a lot of money. Yeah, I get not wanting to fuck in that moment because you're like, I can't even, my dick is like.
I'm so overwhelmed with
I'm so stress. Overwhelmed with stress. Because also, Sam, I owe money. Like, you here to collect, which means if I'd have told you I didn't have the money, you would have had to be like, well, Mikey, now I have to like come back.
With guys. With baseball bats.
And that's the worst part, Sam, is they're not going to kill you because then you can't pay them the money. They're just going to keep hurting you until you get them the money that you owe them. Oh, God. So he takes a cab. He goes and finds Worm. He comes into this building, like this little church, and he goes into the church's like gym. It's like a little church gym. Like clearly like from an old school elementary style, you know? And he goes, I know you hear him walk in. He goes, I know you're in here. And then you see Worm kind of peek out from the curtain from the back, and he goes, oh, Mike, I thought you were the janitor. He goes, man, good thing Grandma doesn't know you like me, huh? He goes, yeah, thank God, right? And he has a basketball. He goes, hey, let's play horse for money. And he tosses him the ball. He goes, he catches it. And Mike goes, what? With my money? And he throws the ball at him. And he's like, whoa. My old man walking the door? And he starts, because Mike starts yelling at him. Yeah. You motherfucker, yada, yada. He goes, yeah, I guess your old man did walk the door. I should beat the shit out of you like he used to. He's like, oh, all right, Mike. And then they start talking about being kids, and he's like, God, nothing's changed. When you were a kid, you were here. You remember you were hiding from what's his name when he was trying to kick your ass, and you hide right here. He goes, yeah, that's what I do. When I get in trouble, I like to hide. It's fun for me. And he goes, I don't write like, he's like, I don't like running solo anyway. Back then when we got expelled back then when we got in trouble, we did it together. And then Mikey McDermott goes, yeah, but back then the worst thing that was happening, we got expelled or we got a beating. You seem like you want to go down real hard, man. And he goes, no one's going to kill me. He goes, I know. You'll get out the way and let them kill me. Oof. And he turns and he walks off. And then Worm's like, he's like, Mike, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I should have told you about the money. I should have told you about everything. It was embarrassing, man. He goes, how much money you have? And Worm's like, I got 900. He's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, now I'm $7,000 in, man. You're really jamming me up. He's like, look, I know. He goes, well, that's it. I had to cut you off. I can't go any deeper than that. You're off the tip. He goes, I know. I understand. He goes, hey, you got to talk to Grandma. He goes, no, I'm not talking to him. Fuck him. He goes, yo, you have to square things out with him. He goes, I'm not talking to him. Cut to, they're walking up to Grandma's place together.
Yeah.
All right? You hear the voiceover. I know all the reasons I shouldn't be here, but those reasons don't matter. Worm has been kicked around his whole life, from his father down. And maybe he isn't the same guy as he was before he went away, but I can't give up on him that easy.
Yeah.
I'm literally all he's got. Cut to, they go see Grandma. His prostitute answers the door. And Mike goes, yo, let me do the talking. And Worm's like, all right. They walk in. And he goes, hey, Worm, good you came. Smart thinking. And then Mike goes, look, Grandma, we got no money today. He goes, all right, come on in. You know you owe 25. And I want the rest. He goes, look, I know. We owe 25. And you want the rest in 5 days. How about this? We'll give you 5 G's in 1 week, and you can keep the juice going. And we'll pay you that way until we pay you off. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and we'll share this thing. He goes, but 3 days to get all your money, that's impossible. He goes, he goes, you're the man now, Grandma. And when nobody's not saying you're the man, this is just a business decision. I think it's good for everybody. And then Grandma goes, look, this ain't the money store. There's no negotiations. I tell you what's going on. And he goes, look, I understand that. And I'm not telling you anything, Grandma. I'm asking. I'm looking for a little bit of grace. And he goes, oh, is that it? And he looks at Worm. You're looking for a little bit of grace? And Worm's like, fuck you. We don't need your bullshit. Like, Worm just starts talking shit. And Mike's like, yo, shut up. Shut the fuck up. He goes, no. And he goes, no. Your boy just can't keep his fucking mouth shut. And he goes, look, we're going to be good for the money, Grandma, I promise. He goes, well, then it's on your head too, Mike. I want 15 grand, 15 large in 5 days, or I break things. And he slams the door on him. And then they leave. And he goes, what the fuck were you doing? He goes, look, I'm not bowing down to that guy. He goes, shut the fuck up. Just keep your goddamn mouth shut for 5 seconds. And Worm's like, I know. I'm sorry. I sunk us. And then Mike's like, no, 15 G's in 5 days. I've gone on rushes like that before. I can do this. He goes, what? He goes, I can pull it off. He goes, what do we have? He goes, you got 900. He goes, I got 350. So that's 1,200 between us. We can do this. You find the games, I'll mop them up. He goes, and Worm's like, no, let's just do it together. He goes, no. We're going to do it straight up or we're not doing it at all.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, where do we start? And they start planning out all the games, right? They get busy.
Yeah.
Cut to, you see them in a game, a Worm doing card tricks in the back, and watching Mike play. Mike just wins. You see him playing with nerdy niggas. He beats them. You see him playing with, like, people in the back of a restaurant. He beats them. You see him playing, like, all over town, just taking everybody's money, right? Cut to, it's, like, early morning now. They've been playing for days. Like, they haven't slept. They're playing these golf pros. And a guy gets cocky, right? And he bets the pot limit. Like, he bets everything. And you see Worm eyes get real big, like, oh, this is a big one. And Mikey gets nervous, and he folds. And the guy like, oh, I made the great card player fold. I didn't have nothing, you fucking idiot. And he takes all the money. And then Worm goes, all right, we're done. Get up, we're leaving. He's like, no, I'm good. He's like, no, get up. And they walk outside, and he goes, I'm sorry, man. I didn't have it. He goes, what do you mean you didn't have it? You're better than those fucking guys. He goes, I know. I was waiting them out. I would have taken the money back later. He goes, yo, we don't have time for that kind of shit. You got to make strong moves. He goes, the move was folding. I can't lose what I don't put in the middle. He goes, well, fuck all that. We needed that pot. What are we up to? And he goes, he counts all his money. He's like, we have 7 grand. He goes, oh, that pot would have had us up at 10 grand. He's like, God damn, you need a nap. And Mike McDermott's like, oh, we don't have time for a nap. He goes, you're right, but no, I know what you need. I got the place. Cut to, they're at a little barbershop getting shaves. And Matt Damon's like, oh, I did need this. This was nice. So it's quiet. They're getting shaves. And he goes, all right, well, we got 7,300 total. We got to double that in 2 days. What do we do? And Mike McDermott goes, well, for short, you think Grandma will stake us? Worm goes, if we're short, Grandma will shoot us and bury us. He wants to kill me. He goes, but don't worry. I got a game for us. In Binghamton, 2 full tables full of municipal workers. Municipal workers. They play right after they get paid. And he goes, Binghamton, that's like a 5-hour drive. He goes, I know, but there's like 15 or 20 G's in that room. We get half of that. We're home. And Matt Damon's like, fuck it. Lead me to it. Cut to, they make this long drive. They pull up. It's late night. You remember that I get what he's saying. He's like, yo, we only got 2 days. And if we do a 5-hour drive there and back, that's 10 hours.
Oh, that's a lot of time.
So we have to, like, that's what he means of like,
yeah.
Now we can't bounce around like how they were doing, just going from, play a couple hours here, but you're in the city.
Yeah.
So they pull up. There's cop cars everywhere.
No.
And Matt Damon goes, municipal workers? And because Edward Norton's like, I mean, they work for the city. Like, he didn't tell them they were cops.
Yo!
Because he's a piece of shit. And he goes, they work for the state, you fucking idiot. He goes, oh. He goes, well, how do we even get in this game? He goes, I told you, when I was in the joint, I used to lose to the guards all the time. And I got cool with this one guard, Sean Fry. And he told me, if I'm ever out, you can call my cousin. No, if I'm ever out, call my cousin. His name's Sean Fry, and he'll get you in this game. And he goes, okay, all right. He goes, Sean Fry? He goes, yeah, just tell him you know Sean Fry. He goes, all right, Worm, give me 8 hours and then come back. He goes, what? He goes, yeah, give me 8 hours. He's like, if we're going to win, we got to really do this right. So give me 8 hours. He goes, yo, how about I just help you? Yada, yada. He goes, no, we're playing this straight up. You can either that or you can go in there and I'll come back in 8 hours. He goes, no, you're better. Fuck. I'll find a bowling alley or some shit. God damn it. So he leaves. Mikey walks in. He goes, hi, looking for Sean Fry? And they go, yeah, he's over there in the cat. So you see him walk by all these. It's like 30 cops and they're all playing. Yeah. And he walks by them all and he goes, hey, you Sean? And he goes, yeah. He goes, hey, your uncle sent me. Your Uncle Pete sent me. Told me I can come by if I was ever around here and you guys play. And he goes, oh, you one of his students? He goes, no, I wasn't inside, if that's what you mean. He goes, oh, so you met him at hunting? He goes, yeah, I met him at hunting. Yeah, down at the lodge. He goes, he took me for $1,000. He goes, oh, hey, like you see him playing just like like Matt Damon's so good, right? And he goes, oh, well, hey, the buy-in here's $1,000. Grab a seat. And he's like, all right. He sits down. He intros himself real nice to all the boys. He's like, oh, so what are we playing? They tell him. You hear the voiceover. Generally, the rule is the nicer the guy, poorer the card player. Even though these guys are tough cops, you see they all have like real tough faces. He's like, these guys are all sweethearts, actually. Oh. And he goes, and I'm right on schedule. Up 4,200. Morning can't come soon enough. Sam, they're at 10. He's up 4,200. Yeah. They need $800 more, and they got $15,000. Yeah. And a day to spare.
Oh my God.
All right. He hears Worm's voice enter the building. Hey, what's going on? Hey, oh man, you bunch of cops in here, huh? And you see his eyes kind of get big, and you hear one of the cops goes, fellas, I met this guy down at the bowling alley. Says he wants to play some cards. And Worm's like, hey.
No.
Oh, bruh. Everyone's like, oh, bring him over, right? And you see our boy just kind of like, they keep playing. You see Worm start shuffling. Now Worm's shuffling. Immediately, Mike has amazing cards. And he's like, oh. He goes, I'll fold. And Worm's like, oh. Right? Like, what the fuck? But Mikey's like, bro, I'm already, like they're having this conversation with their eyes. Like, I'm already winning. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. I don't need you to cheat. Yeah. Right? So the night keeps going. Mikey's killing it. They're almost done. Worm's still dealing.
They don't have, is this pre-cell phone era?
Yeah.
Damn, you can't even be like, oh, my lady's calling me and leave.
You can't. You're stuck at the table.
You're stuck. There's no, you have to come up with, what kind of reason can you give to leave?
There's none.
Okay.
So the guy sitting next to Worm is now staring at Worm. Worm keeps dealing. Mikey gets great cards again, right? The next, Mikey wins a hand. Worm deals again. Mikey gets great cards again, and the guy's watching Worm deal. And then he finally grabs Worm's hand, and he goes, Sarge, looks like we got a road gang here. And everybody kind of gets up at the table now. And they're like, and Worm's like, yo, let go of me, bro. What's going on? And he goes, I caught a hanger, Sarge. He's like, caught a hanger? What does that mean? He's like, I caught him base dealing. And then Worm's like, I don't even know what these words mean. What are you talking about? And then all the other cops go over and they go, base dealing means you're dealing from the bottom of the deck. And they go, oh, you guys know each other? You know? And he goes, what are you guys, pros? And then Mikey goes, no, what do you mean? I was winning before this guy even got here. And they go, okay, that's true, but Let's see what the cards say. They turn his cards over. He has like 2 aces. And he's like, yo, whoa, seriously, I don't even know this guy, for real. And then Worm's like, yo, guys, hold on. And they go, all right, let's just let the cards do the talking. Check the bottom of hand. Like, check the bottom of the deck. And sure enough, the bottom of the deck was like another ace. And then Worm goes, guys, hold on. Aren't you going to read us our rights at least? And he like laughs. And they beat the shit out of him and Mike. Sam, it's like 30 cops.
Oh, and that's what they do.
They fuck these 2 dudes up like
you don't think we know how to fuck people up?
Right? They beat them fucking like, get the fuck out of here. They throw him out the door.
Yo.
So you see Mikey
what the fuck was Worm on?
Bruh, Sam, every time you watch the movie, it breaks your heart. You're like, oh my. It's like The Departed when they get shot. It's just where you're like, bruh, they had it. He had it.
Okay, so what happens next?
So Mikey's just bleeding out of his face.
Yeah.
Matt Damon. I mean, he's Sam. Fucked like action move, like bleeding out of his face, fucked up. Worm's laid all the way out, knocked out. He's like, Worm. And he crawls over to him. Worm finally comes to and he goes, Mike. He goes, you all right? And Worm goes, you should have played that hand, Mike. And he goes, oh, you're such a fucking asshole. And he goes, I know, I'm sorry. He goes, oh, and he gets up and he's like, Matt Damon's like, yo, they took every nickel. They got all of it. They took all of the money we had.
Shit, the money that they had outside of... Fuck!
And then Worm goes, I got 300 left that I hid in my boot. That's it. And Mikey goes, fuck. He goes, I'm so sorry, Mike. He goes, I can't believe I caught a hanger. I can't believe I never do that. He goes, where's the car? He's like, it's over here. He goes, man, fuck were you thinking, Worm? He goes, what do you mean fuck I was thinking? I was trying to help us. Give us an edge. He goes, I didn't need an edge. I didn't need any help. I had it. It was done. He goes, look, hey, I'm sorry. All right? We got banged up. I took a shot and missed. It happens. All right? He goes, yeah, well, it happens a fucking lot to you, Worm. He goes, hey, you're the one who flushed your whole fucking hand on a bankroll at KGB's. That was you who did that. And then Mikey goes, yeah, but that was different. He goes, why? Why was that different? Why are all your moves so smart and so noble and all mine are shit and I'm an asshole? And he goes, you act like you're the only one who has fucking ambition. And then Mike goes, what's your ambition, Worm? Please, tell me. And Worm's like, I don't know. I don't think like that. He goes, exactly, you don't think. He goes, no, I don't think like you. I look for the edge, always. Always I do that. And he goes, yeah, well, look where that got us. We owe 15 grand in a day, and we're fucking broke. So what do we do here? What do we do now? Where do we go from here, Worm? And he goes, I'll tell you what we do. And he holds up the keys. We get the fuck out of Dodge. We steer clear of the city. You know, we just don't go in the city for a long time. We hide out, we pay everything with cash, and we'll get back up soon. It'll take a little while, but we'll get back up. And Mikey's like, yo, not a fucking chance I'm living like that. Mm-hmm. Looking over my shoulder, fucking not a chance I'm living like that. You talk to Grandma, you tell him to stake me, I'm done with this shit. You see Mikey go to walk off, and he goes, Mikey, that's not going to work. And he goes, why not? Because we're not dealing with just Grandma. You said Grandma was on his own. I asked you. You said he was on his own. You said that. And he's like, KGB bankrolled him. So we're really fucked in the ass. And he's like, yeah, there's no fooling around here. It's highway time. And he goes, he's quiet. And then Ed Norton's like, you with me or not? I'm not with you this time. Give me the keys. He throws him, he doesn't give him the keys. He snatches them from him. Wait, you're really going back? Yeah. And I'll see you when I see you. And he gets in the car. And Worm's like, you're leaving. And you hear the car back up, like cut us on. And then Worm goes, at least you're rounding again, right? You'll thank me one day. Fade to black. Hear the voiceover. Fold or hang tough. Call or raise the bet. Decisions made at the table. Sometimes the odds are so clear there's only one way to play it. Other times, it's all about feel. It's all about what's in your gut. You see him, he goes and he knocks on Grandma's door. Grandma looks at him. He's like, oh, shit, look at you. And he's like, yeah, look at me. He's like, where's your friend? He's gone. Mm. So you brought me my money? I'm a little short. How short? The whole way. Must be some kind of story. He's like, well, as you can see, I can't pay you. Like, fuck it. Like, what's the point even? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got at the end of the story, I still don't have the money, so what does it matter? And he goes, well, as you can see, I can't pay you. And he's like, man, you're banged up pretty good. And he's like, yeah, I know. And you see the grandma dude feels bad because he likes Mike. You can tell he's like,
I don't have a problem with you.
He goes, oh, you never should have vouched for that scumbag, Mike. And he's like, oh, I know. And then he's like, oh, you're leaving me no outs here, Mike. He goes, I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Grandma. He goes, I can't trust you that you're not playing me and your boy's not out there somewhere and this isn't a scam. And he goes, look, I don't have a partner. I'm not like you. And you see, Grandma takes offense to that. And he goes, well, you want to take it up with KGB? You go right fucking ahead. Otherwise, you got one day to give me my fucking money or this feels like a Swedish massage. Slams the door. Mm-hmm. Mikey's like, fuck. Right? He runs. He goes to see Kanish. Kanish is in a steam room. He gets him out. And Kanish is like, oh, shit. What happened to you? And he's like, oh, worm. And Kanish is like, when will you listen? Mm. He's like, I'm listening, Kanish. I'm listening now. And he's like, what you need? 500? A grand? He's like, Kanish, I need 15 G's. Kanish is like, he looks at him. He's like,
doesn't even include the 7 G's he owes the Chesterfield people.
Bruh, right? But that he knows he's working with Jean Grey. He can at least make that buy his time.
Oh, dude, man.
KGB and Grandma is like, no, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna either kill me or almost kill me. And
oof.
So he's like, I need 15 G's. And Kanish is like, I need a blowjob from Christine Turlington. So? He's like, 15 G's. And he's like, I need it. He's like, He's like, what about 500 or 1,000? He's like, that won't get me started. He goes, well, if 500 or 1,000 won't help, what will $2,000 do? I mean, what kind of trouble are you in? He goes, I'm in the worst trouble with the worst guy. And Kanish is like, oh, shit. KGB? Yeah. He goes, damn it. I told you, Mike. When you first started, I told you never let that guy get a hold of you, didn't I? He goes, I know. He goes, I tell you, live within your means. I tell you, play smart. And you throw your whole fucking bankroll. I gave you a living, Mike. I gave you the playbook. The playbook I put together. And that wasn't good enough for you. And then Mike goes, listen, this is not the time. I need to hear how I fucked up. Mm-hmm. What I need to hear is that you're going to give me this money. I need this money. So whatever you can give, that's the thing. And then Kanish goes, stop looking. Kanish goes, that is the thing. There is no money. Oof. Not this time. His eyes get all big. He goes, I give you 2 G's. What? It buys you a day? No, that's wasting it. You did this to yourself for a fucking Vegas pipe dream. And then he's like, yeah, I took a risk. Yeah, I took a risk. And I did because you, and I'm sorry, you never took a risk in your life because you don't have the stones to play one. And he goes, stones? You punk. Mm. I'm not playing for the thrill of fucking victory here. I owe rent, alimony, child support. I play for money. My kids eat. I got stones. The stones enough to know not to chase a fucking pipe dream of winning this Vegas poker championships on ESPN. Mm. All right? You want me to call people for you, buy you some time? I'll do that. You want me to get you back on the truck? You know I can. But money, this is where I have to say no to you. Fine. I understand. And he turns, Kanish goes, good. And he turns and he walks back into the steam room. And he goes, hey, listen. And Kanish turns around. Yeah, I put it all on the line. That's true. And it wasn't a bad beat. And I wasn't unlucky. I got outplayed. KGB outplayed me that night. But I'm good enough to sit at that table. It's not a fucking pipe dream. Mm. And Kanish goes, I don't doubt your talent, kid. And he goes to go in the steam room. And then Mikey goes, hey, I never told anybody this. But eight months ago, I was at the Taj by myself. And Johnny Chan walked in. Remember the Asian dude?
Yeah.
One of the greatest. And everyone in the whole fucking casino stopped. And he sits down. And after a while, no one else is doing anything in the casino. Everyone's just watching him. Some people are literally giving him money just to say they played with the world champion, the great Johnny Chan. So you know what I did? I sat down. And then Kanish is like, you need $50 grand at least to play in a game like that. He goes, yeah, well, I only had 6. But I had to know. I had to know. So what'd you do? Well, I played tight for an hour, just folded mostly. And then I made a score. And then Kanish goes, you had wild aces or kings? I had rags. I had nothing. But he raised, and I decided, fuck the money. Fuck the world. Fuck everything. I'm going to outplay him this hand right now. Mm-hmm. So I re-raised. I played back. He goes, whoa, you played back at him? He goes, I played fucking back at him. And then he comes back over the top of me like I'm some fucking tourist. So I hesitate. And then I re-raise again. And then he stops. He looks at his cards, then back at me. And he folds. He mucked it. I took it down. And then he looks at me and he goes, you see Johnny Chan. You see, like, while he's saying this, it's the flashback of it happening.
Yeah.
And you see Johnny Chan go, like, in slow motion, did you have it? And I said, sorry, John. I don't remember. And I took his fucking money and I got up and walked to the cashier. I sat with the best in the world and I won. Kanish is like, you put the move on Chan? You son of a bitch. Like, God damn, maybe you are even like, damn, maybe you are pretty fucking good, you know? And he goes, so that's why you made the run at KGB's place that night. Like, you see him like, it's all adding up in his head. Like, oh, you it wasn't some, like, oh, you really thought you was finna go to Vegas. Yeah. And he goes, that's right. And let me tell you something, Kanish. I'll do it all again. Kanish grabs him. Well, I'm rooting for you, Mike. And walks off. Like, not helping you.
Not help, but I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you are that great. Oh, wow. That's on you. Cut to our boy runs. He has to run. Sam has to go find his money. Yeah. He runs. He goes to the professor. Comes to his house late night. The judge. Mm-hmm. And he tells him he's leaving. He's done with law school. He's done, he's done. He's sorry about what happened, yada, yada. And the professor goes, look, I understand. If something else is calling you, then it is. You have to do what you have to do. But are you in trouble, son? Because he can see it on his face. Like, he goes, yes, sir, I am. He goes, not with the law, just I owe. And the professor's like, a gambling debt. He goes, it's not mine. I vouched for the wrong guy. And now it's on me. I understand, Michael. What will it take for you to be free of this? I need 15 G's tonight. Michael. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. I'm not a wealthy man, Michael. Like, you can see, he's like, bro, like, you think I just got that on, like, I'm a judge, like, I got money, but I'm not, got 15 G's.
To just give to someone.
Money. And he's like, I know. He goes, you have to understand, Professor, it kills me to ask you this. I don't have any other play here. You can see it in his eyes. He's like, bro, if you don't do this, they're going to kill me, bro. And he's like, he goes, please, if you can help me at all, please, Professor, I'm begging you. I'm sorry, Michael. And I hate to see you like this. But if it must be tonight, 10 is the best I can do. You see Matt Damon like, would you do that, Professor? Son, when my mother let me leave the church, it nearly broke her. But she knew the life I had to lead. And to do that for another, it's a mitzvah. Mm. And for that, I owe. And he writes a check. And Michael's like he can't, bro, like, this is from God, nigga, like. Yeah. Because also, who else was going to give him that kind of money? Like, he didn't know nobody else with that kind of money. Mm-hmm. So it was, if he said no, it really was like, damn, they're going to kill me tomorrow, bro. It ain't nothing I can do. He goes, so you take this money, Michael, and you get yourself out of this trouble. You hear me? I know you can. He gives him the check, and he's like, I promise I'll get out of it, and I promise I'll pay you back. He just kind of like, good luck, son. You see him run, he goes and he cashes a check, 10 grand in cash. You hear the voiceover as the cash is like, as he's counting it, and he goes, I've often seen people, these squares at the table, out on their luck, on their last dollar, all their outs gone, praying there's one last card in that deck that can help them, that can save them. And I used to wonder, how the hell did they get there? And how the hell did they think they're going to turn it around?
Oof.
But as you see him like counting his money, like damn, I'm here. I'm one of these people now. Sam, he goes back to KGB's place. Walking in this place just makes me feel queasy. I feel like Buckner walking back into Shea Stadium. You don't know who Buckner is. Buckner is a guy who played for the Mets, who famously in the World Series, to win the game, it was a little itty-bitty ground ball, like a little slow ground ball that was hit. Rolled right to first base. Oof. And it rolled through his legs.
Oh.
And they lost the World Series.
Oh.
It's one of the most vicious.
That's horrifying.
It's one of the most vicious things in sports.
You're it's like the top of your league.
And he was a star player. It wasn't like he was just like some shitty player.
There's so much pressure. Okay.
Yeah, to the mic.
So much pressure. Yeah. Okay, come on.
So KGB goes, "Do you have my money?" You remember when we were watching a video on TikTok of Matt Damon explaining him doing a scene with John Malkovich in Rounders?
Yeah.
And he said the first scene was him going, "Do you have my money?" And I was like, what the fuck? And he said, everyone, this is Matt Damon. He goes, and they went cut, and everyone applauded him like, it's brilliant, brilliant, John. And he leaned over across the table to me and went, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
That was that scene.
Okay.
So Matt Damon goes, I owe you that tomorrow. He goes, da. And he goes, so this money's still mine. And KGB goes, for the next 8 hours, it is yours. But if you don't have it all by then you are mine. And he goes, well, I got 10 G's and I'm looking for a game. Sure. He goes, you sure? You heard me. KGB stands up. So let's play heads up with a couple of racks, blinds 25 and 50, and we don't stop until one of us has it all. Matt Damon smiles. Let's do it. So now they're saying they're sitting across from each other, one-on-one poker.
Yo, so he's just playing with this guy for his freedom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Straight up. So you see Mike, he looks and he has kings, right? So he raises. Very aggressive. It's a new day and you won't be pushed around. But I need this. 5,000. You hear the voiceover. Doyle Brunson says the key to no limit is to put a man to a decision for all his chips. And KGB just did it. He represents aces, the only hand better than my Cowboys right now. So I can't call. I can only fold. Or you see Matt Damon just go all in immediately. KGB grabs an Oreo. He splits it and listens. And he looks at the ice inside. And he doesn't eat it. He just puts it down. And he folds. And Mike takes all the money. Like in the first hand, takes a bunch of money. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And he just goes, I just chopped a leg from under him in the first hand. Now all I got to do is lean on him until he falls over. Cut to later, they're playing, and Mikey has pretty much all the chips. And KGB has like a little bit, right? Like 3 little stacks of chips.
Oh, but he has to play till he gets all his chips?
They're playing until they get all the chips, right?
Ha!
Sam, he wins.
It doesn't mean
he wins. He gets all the chips.
Okay.
He gets them all. And KGB goes, good. Good hand. Catching that jack on the turn got lucky there. And then Mike goes, yep, luck. Rolls his eyes. So that's it then. And you see Mikey collecting all his chips and counting them up. Just like a young man coming in for a quickie, I feel so unsatisfied. And Mikey smiles. He's like, sorry. He goes, you must feel proud and good. Strong enough to beat the world. I feel fine. Me too. I feel okay. Of course, check with one other guy how he feels. Grandma! And you see the grandma dude walk in, and Mike looks at him and smiles. He's like, I thought I smelled you. And Mike, grandma pushes him to the side and like takes all the chips. Because remember, it's like, nigga, this ain't your money anyway. Yeah. Like, you owe me.
Yeah.
And he gives him like a little stack back. And he goes, KGB goes, so you can take what's yours, or if it's okay with grandma, we can let it ride. Keep playing, take your chances. You let this happen, Grandma? And Grandma's like, sure, partner. Yeah, it's till morning. And then Mikey looks at them both and he goes, you know, I got my $5,000 here. That's fine by me. I'm going home. Right? And they go, fine. It's a fucking joke. After all, I pay you with your own money. And Mike stops. As he's walking out the door, he stops. What you say? It's your money. I'm still up $20,000 from the last time I stick it in you. You hear the voiceover. They're trying to goad me, trying to own me. But this isn't a gunfight. It's not about pride or ego. I could leave now, even with them, and halfway back to paying the professor.
Ah, dude, leave.
I told Worm, you can't lose what you don't put in the middle. But you can't win much either. Deal him. You see him walk back. He sits back down. KGB just smiles. They bring out all the cards. Double the blinds. Yeah. Table stakes. Good. Feel free to reload at any time. They start playing again. Time passes. Now KGB is killing this nigga.
Yeah.
Got him, Sam. Walked him down. You must be kicking yourself for not walking out when you could. Bad judgment. But don't worry, son. It will all be over soon. You see Mikey think for a second. They deal another hand. He watches KGB split another Oreo. And he eats it. And he notices something. And he checks. And KGB checks back. And Mike smiles to himself. And then he stops. And he lays down his hand. And he goes, I got a top 2 pair. It's a monster hand. And I just laid it down. Because I know you got 2 4s, and I'm not going to draw against a made hand. And KGB's like, lays down monster hand. Should have paid me off on that. The fuck? The fuck you just laid down that hand? And he looks at his Oreos and he realizes. And he throws them. And Mike just starts laughing. He goes, what, you not hungry no more? Okay, Mr. Son of Beach. Let's play some cards. Voiceover. The rule is, you spot a man's tail, you don't say a word. I spotted KGB's. And I'd let him eat those Oreos till he was dead broke. But I don't have that kind of time. I only got till morning. And hear one of the other guys go, finish him off, Teddy. And he's like, he's hanging around. Kid has alligator blood. Can't get rid of him. So, Sam, his tell was
the Oreo.
When he would split the Oreo and eat it, eat the icing and shit, he had a good hand. When he didn't, he had a bad one.
You think that people would notice that?
He didn't eat the Oreos all the time. Like, he's not eating Oreo every card.
Yeah.
He's only eating Oreo every once in a blue moon.
Oh, okay. I see.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Like, you'd only notice if you played with this nigga all the time and you were really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they play another hand. Mike checks. They stare at each other. KGB takes $2,000 and like drops each chip in the middle. And then Mikey calls, he puts his $2,000 in the middle, and he goes, hey, don't splash the pot. And KGB goes, in my club, I splash the pot whenever, and he splashes the pot again. The fuck I please. That's when you, instead of just pushing your chips like that, you splash it, make a big mess. And he goes, okay. And he checks Teddy again. He goes, that's right, Big Daddy. And he bets again. He splashes the pot. Now, there's a bunch of money at the table.
Yeah.
And Mikey counts. He's like, that's $4,400. He goes, well, I'm going to call because if I don't, I won't respect myself in the morning. In the morning, that's all you have. Respect. Like, nigga, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
But you will have our respect. All right? Last card coming. And you see KGB lay it down. And you see Mike like, and he goes, it hurts, doesn't it? You can't believe what fell. All your dreams dashed. Your fate sitting right beside you. You see Grandma just sitting next to him. He goes, that ace couldn't help you. So I bet it all. And he takes all the chips and he splashes the whole pot. Like, Sam, it's like $50,000 on the table now.
Yeah.
Right? And Mike stops And he goes, "You're right, Teddy. That ace didn't help me." And he lays down like a 9 and an 8. And he goes, "But I flopped the nut straight, motherfucker." And KGB gets up and he throws the table. "Motherfucker! Motherfucker, that's it. No more. No more playing tonight. The son of a bitch. All night. Check, 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 check. He trapped me. He trapped me." And then Mikey goes, "You don't want to keep playing, KGB? Because I can beat your ass up like this all night." All his boys, all the Russians get up to go beat up Mike immediately. And Teddy goes, "Niet." Best line in the movie. "He beat me. Straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money." And he closes the door and leaves. This nigga, like, grandma is so pissed. He walks off. Now that big buff dude comes, just like the beginning of the movie, and starts collecting all the chips, but he's doing it for him. Like, he brings them all to his side. And Mikey's sitting there like he did the first time, like, you hear the voiceover. "I just turned my 10 grand into a little over 60. I was able to pay 15 to grandma, be able to give 6 immediately back to the Chesterfield. As for Worm, we're even. After I gave my 10 back to the professor, I'm back right where I started with 3 stacks of high society." Babe, he's right back to 33 grand.
Wow.
He's right back.
Wow. And that's how gambling works.
Bruh, that's how it works. Because he's right, bro. You can't, like, you can play it safe, but, like, you're not going to win that way. That's why it sucks, but it's like, that's the whole point of gambling. So, see, our boy has a bag of clothes, and it's early morning, and it's the City Law University, and he runs up, and he sees his ex heading in. And he's like, "Yo, Joe." And she turns, she sees him. She's like, "Oh, my God." His face is all fucked up still.
Yeah.
She's like, "You look like hell." He's like, "You should have seen me yesterday." She's like, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Yeah. Yeah, I am." She goes, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "I'm me." You know, like, she's like, I am how I always am. And he smiles. And she sees the bag. She's like, "So you're out of here, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, there's nothing left for me here." He's like, "But can you do me a favor?" And he has this big thing of cash. And he's like, "Can you give this to the professor?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I count on you?" And she's like, "Oh, you can always count on me, Mike." He's like, "Thanks. Take care, Joe." And he goes to leave. And she goes, "Mike, call me if you ever need a lawyer." And she's like, he's like, "I will." And I will. All right? And he walks off. And he gets in a taxi and he leaves. And the taxi guy's like, "So where you headed?" He's like, "I'm going to Vegas." He's like, "Oh, cool, man. Good luck." He's like, "Oh, thanks." You hear the voiceover. People insist on calling it luck. But first prize of the World Series of Poker in Vegas is $1 million. Does it have my name? Does it have my name on it? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. Rounders.
Wow.
What do you think, boo-boo?
Yo, that was dope.
It's a really good movie, huh?
Oh, life is a gamble, guys.
Life is a highway.
To Vegas?
I mean, literally, it could be. You have to go through Barton.
Yeah. There are highways to Vegas. Do you want to ride it all night long?
Yes. Did you like the movie?
I did. I loved it. I had
Who's
so
your
much
favorite
fun.
character?
Matt Damon.
Over Worm?
He was fun, but he's annoying. And, oh, you know what? Monk's brother was awesome, too.
Kanish is really good.
Kanish was cool.
Kanish was dropping fucking advice on this nigga.
Yo, I like
the
that
professor,
guy.
I like the professor a lot, too. He's really good.
Yeah, the professor was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very, like, moralistic truth teller.
Yeah. His girlfriend's not a bitch either.
No, she was cool. You know who she was? She was what's his face in The Devil Wears Prada? The boyfriend.
Oh my God, Vinny Chase.
He was Vinny Chase in The Devil Wears Prada.
Where it's like, oh, this isn't your fault.
But also, I knew you when I love you and I want you to be good and don't ruin your life.
Don't ruin your life, but I can't be with you anymore because you suck a little bit.
Yeah.
You're selfish.
Exactly.
She also cheated on him.
Yeah, she was kind of a cunt.
She cheated on him.
Did she cheat on him? They didn't have sex, did they?
Yeah, she was cheating on him.
She was.
Remember, she went to Paris and fucked that guy.
She fucked that guy. I completely forgot that. I forget a lot of stuff that happened.
Remember, she tells her friend about it. No, her friend sees it or finds out, and her friend's like,
"Oh, yeah."
And her friend's like, "I can't believe you," because remember, she's friends with Vinny Chase too. So she's like, "Bitch."
Well, also the friends are all mad at her because she's kind of ruining their friendship. Also,
And then she sees
that's
that.
why they take their side.
Yeah.
His side.
Well, and then she sees him cheating on her.
She sees her cheating on him?
Yeah, so that doesn't help anything either.
Yeah. Wow. It was with that like older fashion guy.
He was like a dick, but he gets to the Harry Potter manuscripts.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah. But we'll get into Devil Wears Prada another day. I'll tell that to somebody who hasn't seen it. Me and Sam can talk about that movie all day. But I'm glad you like this movie. You see why it's one of my favorite movies now. I do compare this movie almost, you know what it reminds me of is The Social Network, where it's just the dialogue and the pace is so good.
Yeah.
And every time, there's never a time where I'm watching The Social Network, any part of it, and I'm bored, or I'm like, what's going on? Or like, it flows, just every scene goes right into the next scene, and everything matters, and it feels like real life.
Yeah, I like the pacing a lot better than some other like kind of gambling based movies.
Yeah, it's better than 21.
Yeah, I didn't think 21's that good on like the rewatch.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I really liked it, but the second time it's not as good as it doesn't hold up as much.
This movie, I literally put it up there with the Shawshank Redemption and stuff like that.
Well, also the actors.
It gets better each watch.
Yeah.
And the acting, you notice more each time. Like it's just, yeah. There's never a point where you're bored by it. It's just so good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thank
fun? You. Yeah.
I'm glad. Bean Mafia, I hope you had fun. Glad to be back. Hope you're excited for another year of Beans in it with us, because I know we're excited to Beans in with you guys. We have a special episode. This episode's coming out. Well, you'll see it right where you're watching it now. But the next episode is a very special episode, and hope you guys enjoy it. See you soon.